Hi, I'm Clay, and this is my lifelong friend, Donald.
Hello.
And welcome to Retrobot, the YouTube channel where we feed a friendly alien robot a diet of pure nostalgia.
Oh, hey, I got the equipment right here.
No. Nobody wants that. No, put that away. Nobody wants that.
Right.
Yeah. Retrobot doesn't want that either.
Hey.
So
Don't give me any of your 14.4 baud nonsense.
So, as you can see, tonight is extra special.
Yay, Columbia Broadcasting System.
Because tonight we have Don here, who is the original owner of my Gen 1, wait for it, my Gen 1 Predacons. That's right, tonight we are doing the Predacons. We're going to go through the original Gen 1 Predacons and the Power of the Primes Predaking set. Are they officially called Predacons? Because it just says Predaking on the box. Let's pull out the box. The box is right over here.
Yeah.
So, we have... Don't block your face. So, we've got the original box for the... there we go. We've got the original box for the Power of the Primes set, and as you notice, it's Predaking. They list the individual Predacon. Oh yeah, it does say Voyager class Predacon 5 Predacon figures. Okay, so the word figures is in there. I thought it was a little bit weird when it says 5 Predacon figures, and then it has the word figures in many languages. But I guess the word Predacons is universal. So we'll look at this a little bit more when we start talking about the Power of the Primes Predaking. So we can set that aside for now. But let's just roll right into this and talk about the Gen 1 Predacons. So you can see all of the Predacons here. We've got the Power of the Primes Predacons on this side and their Generation 1 counterparts over here. And Predacons came at kind of a bumpy time in the history of Transformers toys. We had seen a lot of the original toys were off the shelves. This would have been 1986 and 87. Is that correct?
Yep, 86, 87.
86 and 87. Oh, wait. I'm jumping ahead. I apologize because we have to do our welcomes and our secret word. So, secret word tonight, which the camera's having trouble seeing.
I was gonna say.
Wow, that's like super bright. Okay,
yeah,
there we go.
There we are.
So when you hear this word, then we drink. And now, before we roll into the Predacons, we gotta welcome people because we've actually got awesome people who have already signed in. So a toast to Kyoji and Joy. Setoyami. I don't think that I've seen you here before. Is Setoyami new? Okay, well,
I guarantee I have not seen him here before.
And Dawn has definitely not. So, two toasts for Setoyami. Thank you for joining us tonight. And I hope I'm saying that correctly. If not, I apologize. And if you can spell it phonetically, then that would be awesome. But, and of course, Monica. And Dawn.
Yay.
And Kyoji has noticed my Nature Trail to Hell t-shirt. Thank you for Kyoji, and I appreciate a fellow Weird Al fan. So yeah, this is an extra one for for Kyoji.
Said to Tomy, just subscribe to the channel.
Hey! Setoyami, thank you for subscribing!
Thank you, and I'm sure he butchered the heck out of your name. But that's okay. Fun fact. Me and my esteemed colleague here, once upon a time, did, as part of a talent show, Nature Trail to Hell.
It's true. It's true.
We dressed up some little dummies that were on a cart. So they were our Boy Scouts that we murdered.
We also had the Morbid Tabernacle Choir.
That's what we called them. We called them the Morbid Tabernacle Choir.
Oh, Hope is here.
Oh,
Setoyami. Setoyami. Oh, okay.
Hey,
Setoyami. Thank you. And Hope is here.
Yay.
And Joy knows the album in 3D. So a toast to Joy.
I did not get in 3D first. The next one, which was I always liked in 3D because that's the one with Eat It.
Yes.
I Lost on Jeopardy, all those great classics. I got it later. Of course, the first album I got was, of course, Dare to Be Stupid.
Yep, that was a good one. My first Weird Al album was Even Worse.
Oh, well, yeah.
That was when I discovered the great Weird Al. And what was great about getting into Weird Al at that time was he already had several albums out by that time, so there was lots of content. So,
especially Polka Party. Polka Party was great. Why? Because Polka Party had the best Christmas song ever.
Christmas at Ground Zero. That is a fantastic song. I love that song. So,
we caroled that song.
Of course, like year after year. My mom got so sick of it.
So did other people in your neighborhood, but hey.
But yeah, so, and oh my gosh, Joy has in 3D on vinyl. Wow.
Wow.
You know what, Joy? This one's to you.
I only have it on cassette.
I noticed that I've polished off like half of my booze. And
that's because you're a lush.
I'm not a lush, though. I'm a lightweight. But, let's see. Tonight's cover of Long Tail Sally is performed by Hairlips, and it's appropriate because they played it in Predator. This is a live stream about Predacons. No! Predacons! No! Okay, both of you... I'm losing control of this already.
Like you had it?
The illusion is that I had control over this live stream and not the other way around. So, see, I did the thing. Yeah, it's that Godzilla thing. So,
I was noticing Setoyami was said that The Night Santa Went Crazy was his favorite Weird Al. It's good. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I like The Night Santa Went Crazy. I still love Christmas at Ground Zero better.
You know, I'm kind of with you there, but I have to say,
it's great. It's Weird Al. I mean,
it's Weird Al. So, you know, and personally, I would like to see Weird Al do an entire Christmas album. That way, we would have a collection of both new and old Weird Al classic Christmas carols to replace the worn out ones that we've been listening to over and over and over again.
I don't think
I
don't really think I'd say they're worn out. They are well loved. They are beloved.
No. You know, most Christmas carols are worn out.
Oh, I was talking about Weird Al stuff, not.
Oh no! Weird Al stuff is fine. No, that's not worn out. Oh my gosh! Jeez!
Your tone sounded like the Weird Al stuff.
No.
Sorry.
No. Weird Al needs to create the album so that we can retire all of the other crap. The crap that I'm sick of hearing year after year after year that they start playing in stores at the end of freaking September and continue playing well into February. I don't need to hear the same collection of about 24 songs for 4 months out of the year.
Yes,
But
and
I
of course,
digress.
Hope pointed out that she loves Spatula City.
Yes.
And
yes.
we actually, as part of...
No, you knock that off. You knock that off. I will throw grasshoppers at you. Very good. See, are they good? They taste a lot like crunchy jerky, crispy jerky.
No.
Huh?
I eat a lot of jerky. No. Oh, like I care about your opinion.
So, anyway, we were talking about Predacons. Let's go back over and take a look at the Predacons. I'm just going to say that in general, the Predacons are one of the best subgroups in Transformers history.
Absolutely.
This is a good-looking group of robots, both old and new. The relatively consistent color scheme really works well.
I mean, basically, you had Devastator, who had the unified color scheme, right?
Right.
And then you didn't get it again because of the Scramble City, and they can switch.
Yes, which nobody did.
Well, that's because the only time they featured it was in the Direct to Japan video, before the movie.
Right, but all the marketing in America was that it was a team. You had a team of similarly themed vehicles that turned into robots that would combine, but for whatever reason, they couldn't share a consistent color scheme.
Now here you had, the consistent color scheme, and they were all the same size, and they were all the bigger size,
Yeah,
You
they
didn't
were
get
all
the teeny
deluxe.
ones. Yeah.
They all came in boxes.
Oh yeah, they were each. Razor Claw was the first one I bought, and I'm pretty this one right here was the first one of the ones I bought. I bought him at it was Murphy's Mart.
Wow.
And he was $15, 14 and tax, and I had to have my grandmother give me the money because I was at the time did not calculate tax properly, and we're checking out, and I don't have all the money, and I don't want to put him back.
Oh yeah, that would have been heartbreaking. That would have been heartbreaking.
Yes, each one of those were collected individually in their separate boxes.
Well, let's go ahead and let's start at the back here. We are going to start with Rampage, and we're going to look at Rampage, and I'm going to move these guys sort of out of the way a little bit so that we'll be able to see what's going on. There is an awful lot of orange and black on the screen.
Well,
and
you
we'll
have
move.
2 teams of Predacons.
I do have 2 teams of Predacons.
There's a lot of orange and black going on there.
So there we go. And so this is Rampage. This is Gen 1 Rampage. He turns into what could be described as a tiger or a puma. It's not all that. If it's a tiger, it doesn't have stripes. And it's not really all that accurate in beast mode anyway. So, I said beast mode. Wait a minute. So, going back to Rampage. Now, the interesting thing about Predacons is they did come out in 1986. And that was kind of a rough year in terms of Transformers toys, because by this point, the original toys were being phased out. Most of them were off the store shelves, and they were being replaced by toys that were made cheaper, that were made with less detail. And you can see that in the case of Rampage, you compare this toy to the Gen 1 Dinobots, and there is no comparison. The Dinobots had all that shiny paint and all of that, all those clear pieces and everything, and they are just orange and red plastic. So, Kyoji was just saying you basically only combined Scramble City type combiners from different groups if you didn't have the entire group. His Superion, for example, was Silverbolt, Slingshot, and 3 Protectobots, not Groove.
What's funny is actually my I didn't have Silverbolt. I had Slingshot and one of the other planes. I think it might have been Air Raid. And I tried, and then I had a couple of the Technobots.
Technobots, okay.
But what's funny is I never had a middle. I never got any of the middles for the only one of the Scramble Cities that I ever get, which was the entire Protectobots.
I remember you had Defensor.
I had Defensor, which I thought was, of all the Scramble City, I liked him the best.
I would say that of the Scramble City combiners, which I think that technically they kind of group Predaking into that because he's similar in the sense that you have a middle guy and 4 guys, but he's really not. No, he's not compatible.
You have to be compatible. My view is, they have to be compatible to be a Scramble City.
And I will agree with that. So, Predaking is not really a Scramble City combiner, and I will say that that the Protectobots were probably the best.
Well, because they had it had the head, so very
Hotspot had a head, and if you didn't have those chest pieces,
didn't matter.
It really didn't matter. Defensor still looked pretty good, even if you didn't have the chest plate. Whereas with a lot of the other Scramble City guys, if you didn't have that chest plate, it really kind of sucked.
And really, for his Scramble City base mode, because each had a base mode.
Yeah, I ignored that.
His was a repair bay, and it actually didn't work too bad.
It had those little arms.
It had the little arms
little
that had
repair arms.
You had no other use for them other than when they were in that.
So for those who don't know, in between the second season of Transformers, the Gen 1 cartoon, and the 1986 Transformers, the movie, in Japan, there was a direct-to-video movie. It was a movie called Scramble City.
It basically, it's going to introduce the characters of Metroplex and Trypticon. It introduces the other combiners you haven't seen of that same style, which at this point would have been, I think they were all pretty much out by then. But, one of the things they did feature in the cartoon was the fact that they could combine with Metroplex and Trypticon. They had ports for them. And that they would, and in the story, supposedly, they, Superion would form and, one of Defensor's guys would form with them. And insanity would happen, I think, or something. Which
I haven't seen it.
I've never seen it. Yeah.
Yeah, in America, like up until the last couple of years when this kind of stuff started coming out online, I didn't even know it existed. And since in the cartoon universe they jumped from season 2, which was set in present day of 1986, to the future of 2005.
Yes.
There was a lot of story that didn't get explained. So Scramble City kind of filled some of that gap. And
also that is where Ultra Magnus shows up in that one, because he's brought in as the city commander.
Right, and which on his box it listed him as city commander.
Wasn't Galvatron kind of the same thing?
Because Galvatron was also listed as Decepticon city commander because they didn't want to reveal that they were getting rid of Megatron. But yeah, so we've got Rampage here, and on the downside, I'm gonna say he does not compare to the Dinobots. He is no Snarl, he is no Sludge. Now, that being said, he is probably one of the nicest Gen 1 Wave 3? Would that be Wave 3 toys?
Wave 3. 86 Wave 3.
Yeah, he's got a nice robot mode. His he comes with the sword and the gun. The stickers, so he doesn't have the reflective gold paint. Instead, they have stickers with rivets. And obviously that's not as nice as having the reflective gold paint, but I will say that these stickers really do look good. And these stickers are 30 years old, and they still look good.
And I believe I believe those are the I had to place those stickers on.
You did a good job. You did a good job.
Because I think all the stickers...
Oh yeah, back then you would have placed all the stickers by hand.
Although I'm not sure. I question somewhat because they are on really good.
I think that... You know what? I think that some of them came already on, and then there were some that you had to apply.
Yeah.
Because it seems like the stickers on the front here are slightly different in quality than the stickers on the shoulders. So I bet that they left the shoulder stickers and maybe the leg stickers for you, and then, you know, these ones... no, I think that's definitely a Dawn right there. That's a Dawn.
Come on.
Sticker.
And honestly, precision's never my thing. I mean,
yeah. And you know what? I it wasn't mine either, and I gave up on putting the stickers on my toys because they never came out right, and then they started looking nasty after a couple years of playing with them, and I just gave up on using the stickers. So yeah, this we've got Rampage here, and I'm gonna go ahead and turn him into ambiguous cat mode.
Generally, most people go with Tiger because you go with the fact that they seem to have gone a kind of African animal theme with them.
Right. Which is interesting, and this is something that you were talking about earlier.
Well, so like I've been, thinking about, you're looking at like, I can kind of tell that these were originally supposed to be Autobots.
Yes, the Anabots.
Which, yeah.
Oh, that's probably what killed the Autobot concept right there. Anabots? Is Nathan Fillion here? Holy crap, Nathan Fillion is here! And Nathan Fillion would like to see I've already had way too much of this. Nathan Fillion would like to see us do a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and then talk about our thoughts on Last Ronin. So, at some point I would be happy to do Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I would love to do that. So, yes, Mr. Fillion, at some point we will do Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I will have to get some of those toys because I don't have a lot of that. And, we have a few old school turtles, but not a whole lot. And I would be glad to talk about The Last Ronin. And at some point, I would love to talk about Nintendo. So, and I know that you would be far more interested in those than you would be in these because you're a young pup and you just didn't. This stuff just didn't really get to you. So, thank you for showing up, even though I know this isn't your shtick. Hope asks, what kind of beast is that supposed to... Oh, jeez. Very good, Hope. Very good.
So does you have to say the secret word then?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So what do we need to get you to say?
This.
Oh.
The T is there. There we go. So I have to say this.
Oh.
But it doesn't count if you say it over and over again. So, anyway, I was in the process of transforming Rampage to his mode, and I had gotten this far while you were telling the story of Anabots, which I feel like as soon as anybody heard the word Anabots, that was the end of it being an Autobot combiner team.
So, now, as we're found, like, there are plans that were leaked that, like, they were supposed to be Anabots, and they were supposed to transform into a giant dragon.
Yeah.
Which I'm like going, how
Which
are
is
they gonna?
not-
How
which
are you
is-
gonna, they didn't have a giraffe in the team, so how the heck are you gonna do the dragon? Because you need a long neck. But you know, I'm sitting here and I'm thinking to myself, and it's really Headstrong and Tantrum that made me go, wait a minute. If these are Predacons, I don't think there is much of the green savanna of lush vegetation that is fearful of being prey.
And that's a good point. Yeah, the two of the Predacons are not predators.
No.
Not
Now
predators.
they're dangerous animals.
Yes,
but
dangerously territorial, but not
I
predators.
had always thought that I think they would have been cool if they'd had a crocodile. It keeps in the African theme.
Yeah, they should have had a crocodile. But they're all mammals.
No, there's a bird.
Oh yeah, you're right. Okay, well then, yeah, you're right. I apparently don't know my mammals. I don't know what a mammal is. I should have listened to the They Might Be Giants song a little bit more, because apparently I don't know what a mammal is. So anyway, let's go ahead and look at Rampage here and his beast mode. I did it again.
Uh-oh. You're about empty. You're lush. I'm not that far. You can't have any of mine when you say it again.
We are 26 minutes into this live stream, and I've already polished off one girl drink, and I got to the bottom, which is where all the booziness sits.
You drink out of a straw. It starts at the bottom. What are you talking about?
I'm in trouble. And Don's here because when I fall over, he's going to take over the live stream.
That's fine. You don't mind your channel being banned from YouTube because, you know.
Make this one weaker! Make this one weaker!
I'm just saying, I play to my strengths, which, not always appropriate.
So, here we have Rampage in his cat mode. And this is a good cat mode. I have to say that he looks really, really good. I never liked this. Okay, we've got...
Yeah, the face thing, but, you know, a lot of Transformers suffered from some of those kind of issues. And
you know, it's one thing when it's, like, buried underneath a car that's going to be laying on its belly. I can still see it from the front. He's just gonna... It's like a beard. He's wearing his robot head as a cat beard.
Well,
so...
Yeah, Nathan's got a question.
So, so Nathan has a question, and let's see. Wasn't there a line of Transformers that turned into animals what was that line called? It was called This Wars. Retrobot says Dinobots. So yeah, we've got This Wars, and I have a fresh new.
There was also well, heck, I'll say it. Beast Machines. What do I care? I'm not drinking. Because you don't have to do it if I say it. So you could have just asked me to say it.
I lied about that.
But I rather wanted to see if you could walk into that.
I actually did lie about that, but he'll abuse it if I tell him that it works. So anyway, you know, it was Beast Wars, okay? It was Beast Wars. Oh, jeez. You know, this is already going off the rails. We are not going to get to Predaking. I'm just going to say it. We're not getting to Predaking. Live stream over. Good night. Okay, no, it's not over. It's not over until Predaking sings. So, once again, I really like this creature mode. And I don't even really mind the head. Yeah, it kind of bugs me, but other than that, I love the proportions of the body here. I love the colors. I love that his mouth opens. That's something that on a Gen 1 Transformer was completely unnecessary, but they did it anyway, and I love them for it. Now, the downside is that this cat really isn't terribly posable. You can't do anything with the legs. You get some waist pivot. Yeah, you can do a little bit of stuff here, but you can't get into like a really cool pouncing position. But as Gen 1 Transformers go, it is a really good animal mode. He's got great proportions, great colors. I love the combination of the animal form reimagined as a machine. All in all, yeah. What do you think? You know, obviously these guys were your favorites.
Well, well, that's what I liked about these guys and the Dinobots is the fact that unlike the later series that you don't want to be named because of drinking, I liked the fact that these were robots, not animals. You know,
yes, robot animals, creatures reimagined in robot forms.
You know.
So we can set him aside. Let's go ahead and take a look at Dive Bomb. Dive Bomb, who had a rivalry with Swoop in the comic book, in the UK comic book. This is something that Kyoji brought up during our Dinobots live stream last week. The original name for Swoop was Dive Bomb. And so writer Simon Furman kind of ran with that and said that Dive Bomb took Swoop's name by defeating him in battle. And that there was this ongoing kind of shame between Dive Bomb and Swoop because Swoop didn't tell his fellow Dinobots that he had been defeated. And, you know, so it was an interesting story, a little bit weird, I thought, at the time, but then when I knew the origins, I thought that was actually pretty interesting. Love the detail. Love the sculpt of the bird wings. Love the jets. And he's a little bit more posable. He's actually got legs and knee joints. So, as Gen 1 characters go, he's pretty dynamic. And you can, of course, yeah, I very oftentimes would stretch out the bird wings when he was in robot mode to really give him that dynamic, swooping warrior look. And here we go. And let's see. Setayami says in chat, Beasties was the Canadian name for Beast War. Setayami!
I just want to say that you were the one, you let somebody come up with this, so, you know, I would have picked something
But yes, it is true. So Setayami is true that I already drank for this. It was the Canadian, right? The Canadian name for Beast Wars was Beasties. So okay, because of a regulation that you're not allowed to say wars, so they said Beasties. I feel like Beast Battle. Oh, jeez.
That's you. That's you, man.
It gets harder not to say the more that I have to drink. That's what you have to understand.
Well, at least your straw is deteriorating, and that means that you can get less out of each draft.
Oh boy, things are getting swimmy here. This is bad. This is so bad. So you've got Dive Bomb here. Yeah. Hold it up for the camera so that people can see Dive Bomb, and you know, where did this fall? Like, which one did you get? Like, which?
No, after Razor Claw, I don't remember. I really don't. Razor Claw was the one I cared about most, and also
he was the cool one.
He was the cool one. And then after that, I can't remember. I might have gotten like 3 or 4 for Christmas.
Ah, okay.
So it's tough to say. My only criticism of Dive Bomb is his head. I love that you can see through it, but the beak bit, right? It just really covers up his face.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he's got this, you know, it's doing the mask kind of thing across there.
And honestly,
you could just do that and here, and that I don't think is too bad. Although, admittedly, when I was a kid, I transformed it with the mouth open. But again, mouth open. Now this is due to transformation.
But you know what? I'm still okay with it, and I love that it has an opening beak. So yeah, I usually tended to transform him like that so that you could see the face. But obviously, you had the ability to have the beak open, or you could make it bird head. Birdhead, the Decepticon bird killing robot. I've had a lot to drink already. Okay, I'm not gonna be terribly witty. So let's.
I mean, honestly. So Joy says that these Transformers are in amazing condition. And that's because they were mine.
They didn't get peed on.
They didn't get peed on. Well,
they didn't get chewed.
Well, it's kind of like I always listen to you talk about how you hate the extra bits, right? Because they get lost. And I'm like, take care of your shit better. Well, no. I didn't lose my stuff.
Here's what I don't like about extra bits. I don't like little extra bits, especially ones that you can't use in all of the modes. Now, granted, when it comes to Gen 1 Seekers, those just have a ridiculous number of extra bits. And they don't all stay on all that easily. Like the tiny, tiny pegs that kept the tail wings on the original Seekers, they actually re-engineered those for later releases to make the peg bigger. So yeah. Nonetheless, Beakface, we can call him Beakface. No, I don't want to disrespect Dive Bomb.
Well, plus which, I mean, Dive Bomb is a great bird name.
It is a great bird
because
name.
Let's face it, when you got, everybody, at least I knew, when you got pooped on by a bird, you said that it dive bombed you, so.
I've never been pooped on by a bird. How many times have you been pooped on by a bird?
Once.
Okay, you know what? Once is enough to speak from experience. That's all it takes.
Pigeon taken off from a power line. And I'm just like, what the? Oh, you're kidding me.
That is something that I did not know.
I don't admit to it too much, but hey.
Now, many people are aware.
I am totally not worried about it.
But, yeah, I would say that there are some experiences that you only need to have once to be an expert. And that's one of them. So,
I have more that I'm not going to share. But,
So, obviously we've got Dive Bomb, more posability than a lot of Gen 1 characters. Again, sharing that really nice looking orange, black, and yellow color scheme. He's got 2 guns.
Well, all of them had 2 guns when they left my possession, with the exception of Razor Claw.
You know what? I'm sure that we still have the 2 guns, but we have a lot of little plastic guns. So, let's go ahead and transform him. We're going to collapse the arms. We're going to push the fists up in and squeeze the arms to shorten them. So there's 2 motions that happen there, and we can just do that here. Maybe. Go up in there. Go up in there.
There's a tab on the back, I think. Oh no, that one doesn't have the tab on the back.
The tab is on the inside, but the tab isn't really helping me.
Hold on here.
His thing is, I can.
Yeah, you break it. I mean,
I'm not gonna break it. I'm the guy who fixes Transformers.
You're also the guy who destroys Transformers. And remember,
no, I perform constructive surgery. Corrective surgery.
Mason Fur is here, so.
Oh, Mason Fur! Mason Fur, thank you for coming!
And apparently it's storming there, so at least you're getting rain. We don't have any.
So, Mason Fur, the only thing that you have missed so far is we talked about Rampage, great cat mode, with the exception of a robot head cat beard that is on him. But other than that, great cat mode for Rampage, and we are just about to turn Dive Bomb into some kind of a bird. Is he a condor? Is he a vulture? What is he?
I've always gone with, I always thought like eagle.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He's not a vulture, and like I said, they were going with the whole African kind of continent theme. And, well, eagles are prevalent amongst all the things, continents of such. So, I mean, you had eagles.
You mean like Antarctica? Are there a lot of eagles in Antarctica?
Yes, there are. Surprisingly, they're just under the snow. They
dress as penguins.
Yeah, those are snow
as camouflage.
They're snow eagles.
Snow eagles. So the new name for penguins is snow eagles.
Yup.
Yeah. You know what? I now want a T-shirt that has a picture of a penguin that says Snow Eagle.
Roger.
Thank
Absolutely.
you. Thank you for that. So we've got Dive Bomb here in his bird mode, and he really does look good in bird mode. He's got talons. He's got a beak that opens. I love all of the articulation in the wings. You have a lot of places where this can move. So, yeah, Dive Bomb, let's go ahead and move to the other camera. So, this is him in his creature mode, and he really does look
Creature
great.
mode?
Yes, that is his creature mode.
Creature?
He's
I don't
got
think it's a
tail.
creature.
It is a creature.
No,
it
no,
absolutely is a creature. So, we can also, let's go ahead and add the guns to the ports under the wings. So, we've got guns here, and so he has a great, a fantastic ability to be in swooping mode, and you can put the wings back and have the head forward, and you can have him perched. You can put the head down and put the wings down like this, and so he works really well. He is just a fun toy. Both of his modes are pretty much top notch. I don't have any criticisms.
Well,
I guess you can
for a Gen 1. Yeah, when he's,
you can see his face, but it's not even that noticeable because most of the time you have the head angled at some point.
And it would be a beak face, so.
And it would be a beak face. So yeah, I really like Dive Bomb. I think that he is just a really well done toy. Especially at a time when a lot of the toys of this era were not very detailed and not very well articulated.
No, I mean, especially because not only you look at the generation, the part when it came from, and then also the fact it was a combiner.
Right, it still had to have that third mode, and unlike the Scramble City combiners, Dive Bomb splits into two pieces for his combination with Predaking, so that the back here can go onto the back of Predaking, and then the rest of him becomes an arm. And the gold accents, so Monica was just mentioning the gold accents. The gold accents look great, and actually I would be interested in, there was a site that one of our viewers referred us to where you could get replacement labels, because I would like to replace the stickers on the wings. They have not held up super well over time, and that's not your fault.
Nah,
they're 30 years old.
They're 30-year-old stickers. I mean,
34 years old. It is 2020. These came out in
30-ish
in 1986. So 34 years old. So
are you trying to say I'm old?
Dude, we are a couple of old beasts.
You're older than I am by 6 months. exactly 6 months.
Chill penguins. Chill penguins, that's a good one. So thank you, Mason, for chill penguins.
I still like snow eagles.
So, yeah, Snow Eagles is pretty good.
Damn straight it is.
We've had some good stuff. You know, this live stream is great. Just so everybody knows, this live stream is the best.
It's Elephant Rider.
It is Elephant Rider. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and set Dive Bomb aside for now. And let us move on to Tantrum. Here is Tantrum. We're going to go to the other camera. There is Tantrum. Yeah. Tantrum. Okay. Okay. Let's just call it as it is. Tantrum has some issues. His robot mode, like, for one thing, this keeps just kind of flopping down. I
didn't do that when I owned it.
34 years ago.
Absolutely.
So, we've got a unileg here and little peg feet. We've got just weirdo arms.
I like the weirdo arms.
The weirdo arms are very posable. I like that they've got a lot of articulation for a
sure, they're not.
figure.
They're kind of Popeye arms in a way.
They're definitely Popeye arms.
But he's supposed to be a strong guy, so hey, Popeye, it's a robot. He's allowed to have weird Popeye arms.
I'm just gonna say that in comparison to some of the other Predacons, even in comparison to some of the other toys of the time, certainly in comparison to the Dinobots that came 2 years before, he is not as cool in robot mode as a lot of the other ones.
Basically, if you look at the Predacons on a whole, there are two basic transformation geometries. It's all the legs fold up, the arms squish in, you got your head thing going on between Rampage, Dive Bomb, and Razor Claw, and then you have, we have to make legs. So we need things that are bricks. And that is Rampage and Tantrum.
They absolutely did.
Or Headstrong.
They did absolutely.
Or Tantrum and Red.
Yes, Headstrong.
I always wanted to call him Rampage because he's
a bull, right?
Well, he's a
Bulls Rampage.
He's a buffalo. He's supposedly a water buffalo or whatever.
He's not a water buffalo. He's a bull. I know that they say that he's a water buffalo, but this guy doesn't look like a buffalo. He looks like a bull.
I always thought he should have been named Horrible. You remember Horrible?
Yeah, I remember Horrible, and you're right. I always want to call him Horrible, but he is definitely he is named Tantrum, and that is because the character was known for having a short temper, and so Mazenfur was asking about Dive Bomb from the Armada generation. This is from Energon, Transformers Energon. And this is actually a pretty cool toy.
You're going to poop on you.
You know, here, what it would be is he'd be flying over and... Wait, here. I'm trying to do a thing here. Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay, so, you know, he'd be flying over and then it'd be like, oh, what's this? Oh, no, he dive bombed me. But nonetheless, this is a cool toy. This is one of the reasons... Let's go to the other camera. This is one of the reasons that I love the Energon line, because we had some really cool looking toys. This guy's wings are so cool, and they have those vertical takeoff vents that are in the joints. Just great. The way that the talons open and close. He's just a really, really good-looking figure. And very, very playable, very posable. You can do a lot with the wings. So...
Now, was not in the Energon series, Wasn't he a Terrorcon?
Yes, they were called Terrorcons, and if you followed the TV show, which was awful,
It was horrible.
You know, it was a little bit horrible.
Come on,
that was good. That was good.
Come on, I mean, come on.
I'm getting to the happy inebriated stage. I'll just drink to that. that was beast. So yeah, let's go ahead and I'll put his Energon star back on him, and let's go ahead and transform this guy real quick. Because I feel like this live stream is already off the rails. So we're gonna split the beak, and then we're going to collapse the wings to make legs. There we go.
Duke got funnel.
No. Leave that alone. And then we have. So this is something that I didn't like about the original. This is the original, but this was something that I did not like when I got him. You could see the robot face in beast mode. I said it again. Nathan Fillion, you are going to get your wish tonight, because I'm turning red. I am. So yeah, where is Canadian Ranger? He is missing. We got Pepto for Canadian Ranger, and he's not here to appreciate it. So anyway, yeah, I'm 1.5 drinks in. My head is turning red. This is a problem, but nonetheless, I see a little bit of kit bashing that I did. So let's go ahead and go to the cheaper cam here. So you see underneath here, we've got this piece of white plastic here that's covering the face. Well, and then there's a couple pieces right here. There used to be, and I've still got them, but they're in the container. There's a couple of Energon parts that can peg into these holes that I added. But they make it so that the face of the robot is kind of obscured. Because I didn't like that in the creature mode, you could just see a robot head in his butt. So I added this. I sculpted this and glued it on. And then to transform it into robot, you just rotate the head like that. And actually, I didn't even remember that I had done it until I saw the yellowing glue. And it's like, oh, those aren't original parts. I sculpted those. So, yeah, and if you look really, really close, you can tell that they are hand sculpted. But nonetheless, let's go back here. I'm going to try and transform him. Yeah. So, the shoulders are on joints, and they just go up like that. And then we've got robot arms, and you can kind of do whatever you want with the robot, with the creature feet. I just kind of swing them down like this. But so you've got a nicely posable figure with a great robot mode and bird beaks for hands, which I think works. I think that's actually pretty good. So let's go to the other camera. You can see him in robot mode. And yes, that is Energon Dive Bomb. And he's a pretty cool guy. He's just a cool guy. I'm already slurring my words. That's a bad sign. We are not even through Gen 1 and I'm slurring my words. So, let's set this stuff. Oh, you know what? I forgot to do something. Wait, I forgot to do something. The pelvis goes back like this and does that. So, not a big difference, but there. Now we can set him aside. So, Mike Spicer is here. Hey, Mr. Spicer. Oh gosh, if more people show up, I'm in trouble. Mr. Spicer!
I just
toast to you.
Let you know that you're the one who agreed to this, and I was thinking this is a bad idea because you're gonna say it a lot.
I'm usually better about this, and apparently Brandon and I have something in common. Mike Spicer says that Brandon is drunk, so I'm not.
I must admit, I've never tried rewatching it. I don't watch those streams live because I can't fast forward through it. But now maybe being drunk would make it better. I don't watch a lot of the review things live. I fast forward through stuff because I'm like, I don't care how it transforms. I just want to see what it is when it's done.
So here we have Tantrum. I'm gonna go ahead and take his guns out of his hands, and let's just transform him. Let's put him into his other mode. His
bison.
His bison.
Water buffalo.
Water.
Not.
His water bison mode.
Definitely not bull mode.
His bull mode. So, I did not talk you through it. I just did it, and I'm just gonna go with it. We have to get the.
I thought the feet. I thought the back leg things was a neat.
Thank you. There we go. So, and then we have a long bull and a short bull. So we've got this, and I still think he looks like a bull. I still think he looks like a bull.
Well, there's not terribly much difference when you're doing it in a robot. I mean,
so this is him in his bull mode, and or bison or whatever, and he does look good in his bull mode. Yeah, you have a little bit of robot face underneath there.
There's a lot of robot face.
There's a lot of robot face underneath.
There's nothing hiding. They could have done something with that. But
they could have, but they did not. Also, no opening mouth. Now, granted, the opening mouth on a guy that eats grass is probably not nearly as important, but still, I like it better when they can.
They did give him big nostrils, though.
They gave him really big nostrils. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah.
Brandon Spicer is here.
So, we've got Brandon Spicer here. Oh, I'm spitting on myself. So, Brandon Spicer. There we go. Toast to Brandon Spicer. So, back to not quite horrible. I guess we'll stay on this cam. I was gonna go to the other cam, but
I was just thinking about something.
Oh, can you do that? Please tell me you can do that.
You totally can.
You can do it.
Oh, but there's only one peg.
Oh, it's a screw hole. It's not a nostril. It's a screw hole.
I've totally forgotten about
that. It's a 5mm screw hole.
It is a 5mm screw hole, though. You know.
So yeah, he can do this. If you want him to do that thing that's happening right now, he can do it. You can absolutely.
Well, I mean, the only other thing you could do would be,
Noseblade. He can.
Yeah, totally. I take your sword, Matador, and But now we're going back to the bull and not water buffalo or bison or whatever.
Also, he has a couple of holes here, and he can use the Predaking feet as weapons, and I like that. This is definitively something to do with the extra Predaking parts that integrates. It looks like it fits, so I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much the only Predaking bits that don't get are the fists and the head mask.
And there's not actually a lot of Predaking bits anyway. So let's just touch on this right now. Predaking has 5 extra pieces that you need to form his super robot mode. You've got the feet, which there's 2 feet. This is the one that goes with Hardhead or Headstrong. Yeah, because I always like to call him Nose Strong. So this is Nose Strong's foot, and then we've got Tantrum's foot, and both of these can be attached to the backs of the creature modes to make weapons. And then you've just got a Predaking head and 2 Predaking fists. That's actually really, really good. When you compare that to the other combiners, Devastator just had a crap ton of extra pieces.
His fists and forearms, separate pieces.
Yeah, and his pelvis, and his cod piece, and his chest plate, and his head, which was also the attachment mechanism to connect hook to long haul. So without those pieces, you couldn't even connect most of the Constructicons.
But again, you're looking at that as the first generation of we're going really in Japan. We're talking 83.
Right, but I will say that around the same time, we had Puzzler from Machine Robo that required no extra pieces. And I have a video about that for those people who want to see that. We actually did compare Gen 1 Devastator to GoBot's Puzzler, and we went through all this stuff.
Yeah,
so
if you want to see a powdered metal piece of crap. I never liked the GoBots. Just didn't.
Well,
it didn't resonate with me.
GoBots were awesome.
Hail Hydra.
So we're being reminded to hail hydrate. I have another water over there because I was anticipating this. So thank you. And I will hail hydrate.
So, looking for 2. Cut one head.
Oh.
2, one head falls, 2 head rises.
Maybe I have. You know what? I cut one head off. Now I have 2. So Brandon wants to know who that guy is next to you. So Brandon,
a figment of your imagination.
This is Figment.
And what a beautiful imagination you have.
Figment has been my imaginary friend since 8th grade, and I call him Don. So, yeah, it'll be interesting when I watch the recording of this live stream to see if Don actually exists. I'm afraid that he does. But nonetheless, getting back to Tantrum, this is Tantrum. He does look really good in his robot mode. There's no posability in the creature mode here. Yeah, I said robot mode, I meant creature mode. But he does look really good. Colors are great and very, very playable, even without having any articulation. You can
think
have
about
him.
It. He's a rammer, right?
Yeah, he rams
he's
into
a brick. So
he's a brick.
You want to hit things with bricks.
And
so.
he feels solid. The nice thing about this toy is it feels as solid as it's supposed to represent. The robot mode is kind of sad. I'm just gonna own it. I may love him, but the robot mode is kind of sad. But the creature mode,
you're gonna have the same criticism when you get to Headstrong.
Yeah, and let's go ahead and go to Headstrong. We will set him aside, and let's just move on to Headstrong. And so here we have Headstrong. He is not nearly as awkward looking. Even though he's structurally very similar to Tantrum, he does not look nearly as awkward as Tantrum. The robot mode.
I dug the Popeye arms and the skinny legs.
No.
Well, that's right. It didn't have chicken legs, so you can't really identify with it.
Ha ha ha. I've lost my chicken legs because I'm out of shape. So he doesn't. However, what he doesn't have is he also doesn't have a whole lot of articulation. His arms can go around like this, and that's pretty much it. The legs are still a fused leg, and he's got hollow feet, but it's but proportionally, I'd say that his robot mode is still pretty decent. Now, of course, you compare him to a Dinobot, and it's like, well, they do look better. But the Dinobots did not combine. He's able to combine.
The Dinobots were also created first, and they were done. I think really what made the Dinobots so cool was they did the translucent plastic with. It was a whole different aesthetic because you're coming from these things are piloted mechs from the Japanese side.
And these things were made by Hasbro.
And the actually, I think those were actually still designed by Takara Tomy, but on Hasbro's behalf.
Okay, so this was still Takara, but obviously done a lot cheaper.
Well, at this point in time, Takara has that what they have put out before is now coming back out as Transformers over there. It's being really embraced. People are like, oh, these things now have names rather than Gunman or Car 5, and
the story is what really made Transformers explode. You've got these fantastically imaginative and playable toys that were awesome in their own right, but what really made them a sensation was the work of Bob Budinsky and giving them personalities, giving them a story, and putting that story right on the box so that you weren't just buying a toy. You were buying into a legacy. You were buying a character. It wasn't about, oh, I have this truck that turns into a robot. It's, I have Optimus Prime. Optimus Prime is special.
The heroic
Optimus
leader
Prime.
of the Autobots.
Right. That made him more important. That made him more appealing. And these guys turned into Predaking.
I gotta admit, when it came to Megatron was the leader, but in all honesty, when I saw that robot, I thought he was a big metal piece of crap. I just did not like the actual toy.
Well, I think that the shelf in the front.
You had the shelf. You had these
toy.
gangly. I mean, you complain about how goofy looking Tantrum looks in robot mode.
Oh, you know what? Gen 1
Megatron
would kick Tantrum's sorry butt. I'm sorry. Even with skinny legs. I'm sorry.
There's this cannon that's going to make him completely fall over.
No, the cannon was awesome.
One shot, he's on his butt.
No, not Gen 1 Megatron. And he was posable. Yo, you could get him into poses. Yes, it was a locked arm pose.
Pose and some really gangly legs that will break.
Gen 1 Megatron was awesome.
No.
There's a reason why I have a live stream and Dawn doesn't. It's because I know what I'm talking about.
No, it's because I generally hate people.
Oh, there is some of that. So, anyway. So, let's go ahead and take his weapons off, and we're going to turn Headstrong, thank you, into a Rhino.
You're welcome, Drunky McDrunkers.
It's bad. It is so bad. I made poor choices this evening. So many poor choices.
You made poor choices before this evening because you agreed to me coming down long before this evening. So, So,
to transform him, you're going to put the legs up into the shoulders. And then, this is kind of odd. You pull the creature legs out of the chest. That's weird. And then you're going to put the head down here, and it just kind of goes there.
Just put his head between his legs. It's fine.
Put his head between his legs and kiss his...
Well, no, he can't because it's completely on the other side.
Hey, phrasing!
You're going to rotate these panels that are on his feet. He does have... Oh, that's like a heel thing that we didn't put out. He doesn't have really a tail.
There are back feet.
There are back feet.
Yeah,
they come out of the back. They can't see what you're doing.
All right, so in here...
There you go.
Well, I had to look at... I have worse eyesight than you, so I had to get a little look at it there. And this is actually...
Yeah, that stays up like that. And... Canadian Ranger is here! Canadian Ranger! Oh my gosh! Canadian Ranger, this is for you! Yeah! So, Canadian Ranger is here just in time.
Canadian Ranger. Damn it. That was supposed to be smooth and it didn't work out.
That did not work at all. Very nice eating the avocado. That was good.
That's kiwi.
Kiwi, avocado, they're both some kind of green thing.
One's a fruit. The other, well, I guess it's kind of a fruit, but they're completely different. One tastes like strawberries and one does not.
One is really good on sushi, and I had sushi earlier today, and it was delicious. So, we've got Headstrong here.
Apparently you're not the only one making poor choices today.
Let's go ahead and look at Headstrong in his creature mode, and Headstrong does look really good. He is a nice looking rhino. The details are good. The stickers look good. Of course, he's like most Gen 1s, he is a bit of a brick, but he's a good looking brick.
Interesting thing, Canadian Ranger also brags that The Rock now owns the XFL completely. I'm actually surprised that Vinnie Mac gave it up.
You
don't know sports, so
you're right.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
I know some sports, but I figured Vince McMahon would not give up on that. I mean, because he doesn't have better things to do with his life. So I mean,
I'm just amazed that the XFL exists.
Again. This is round 2.
This is the sequel with no equal. So, that is Headstrong in his Rhino mode, and I will say that for all of the Predacons, their animal forms are the strong point.
Yeah. Although admittedly, you've got
some robot head down here, but it is out of the way, and I'm not seeing robot face, so I'm okay with it. Yes, there's something there, but it doesn't just scream robot face. Yeah, you can see it sort of there, but again, it doesn't scream.
No, it whispers it. You just listen. Robot face. See, it totally does.
That was you. That was you. Don't lie to me.
You're imagining things. You're drunk. You don't know what you're talking
about.
So
there is a little bit of that. So yes. So there we go. We're gonna set him aside and let's get to. Oh wait! Before we do that, let's go ahead and give him his blaster cannons. There's a lot of see-through here.
Well,
I'm gonna go with it.
I find it the feet. They are not. Oh damn.
Boy,
you've
had one drink. One drink. I've had like a lot.
Well,
and I'm still pulling this off.
Just this once. No, it's I keep wanting to say individual, but that doesn't feel quite right. The fact that the feet are mother.
So,
yeah.
Thank you for joining us, Don. Very good.
Yeah, hey.
He's had a little bit too much broccoli this evening, and you know how he gets when he's had too much broccoli.
Broccoli.
So, nonetheless, he's got the blasters. This is the foot of Predaking, and I do really appreciate that it sits on his back, and from the front, it just looks like a pair of cannons. It's not until you look at him from the side that it's like a little bit like, hello, but I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. Let's go ahead and set that aside and get to the guy that we all really want to see. I think that this is where this.
No, we after this guy, we get to see the guy we all want to see.
Me? Oh, Canadian Ranger is actually named Donald. Well, this is Donald. I think I have to toast Donald. Okay, so. Oh, why did you fill that again? That was a terrible idea.
Well, that's okay. I got one of these things now. I mean, it's a pink flamingo. That's just not right.
So, I don't need more. I don't need more. So, we have Razor Claw.
Eat your fruit.
No, I'm not going to eat my fruit.
Oh, fruit. No.
So here is Razor Claw. He is holding his original sword, and he is also holding Tantrum's sword because Tantrum had a pair of guns and he couldn't hold everything. So I'm going to go ahead and take...
Well, no, we did prove that Tantrum, well, at least in the beast mode. Oh,
yeah,
here.
You said it. You said it. Wait a minute here.
But you don't have to drink, right? But you can.
I actually do. I lied about that before.
He could hold the sword in his nose.
That's true. He could have.
So.
He could have.
And even in robot mode, you could just stick it on the side of his head. Although, admittedly, it would look.
But you don't want to. That's the thing. You don't want to.
No, but you can if you want. You could.
You could, but you don't want to.
It's a thing you can do if you want to.
Just do it.
So that's great.
Now we've divulged into a Nike commercial. I did not think we were going to be sponsored by Nike.
Nothing is impossible.
That's adorable.
So this is Razor Claw. And of all of the Predacons, he really does look the most badass in robot mode. Look at him. He's got a lion head for a chest. Sure, his arms are kind of short, but he's got a great head sculpt on him. He has a great body dynamics. He's got the shoulder thingies. He's got great colors with the black legs and the yellow thighs, and then you can see the orange lion legs in here. He's just a really, really nice figure. Especially for, once again, I'm just going to point out, especially for a figure that came out in 1986 when a lot of the toys were just looking cheaper and cheaper and less impressive. He is a nice figure.
And you think about it, okay, so he was $15. Well, all of these were $15 each.
Right.
So was Hot Rod, Cup, Blur, the shell former that was Scourge,
Cyclonus. Right.
And really, they're all just kind of, they were cool. Some of them more than others, but then again, I can go on how I really never liked the Floy O'Deary style of creating robots.
Well, I think that what we learned is that designing a cartoon character first and then having that turned into a toy is far less effective in terms of creating a good toy than designing a cool toy first and making the character model for the cartoon.
You look at the original Gen 1 release 84, 85. A lot of these were basically, if you think about it, they were kind of model replicas. This is not just a car. This is a like a Lamborghini Countach.
Right. They were realistic. They were based off of real existing vehicles.
When you get to the Wave 3, you're just making it up as you go. You can go with these more. I mean, now admittedly, in the Predacons here, the outrageous colors, they work. They're totally awesome. I mean, they just are.
Well, it's a good color scheme. It's an analogous color scheme for those of us who actually went to design school for, whatever design school is worth. But, it's an analogous color scheme. You've got yellow, orange, red, orange, and then black, which is just a tone. So they are analogous. It works really well with the gold. So everything about that works really well. There are splashes of red. So yeah, analogous color scheme with black and some reflective gold. But again, the gold is even part of that analogous color scheme.
Oh, absolutely.
Shiny. And that's why it works. When you go with kind of yellow and purple, those are complements of each other. Yes, the Constructicons are green, but they are yellow-green and purple, and I think that because...
And honestly, I think the yellow, green, and purple would have worked better than actual construction vehicle yellow and purple.
Well, we've seen knockoffs done in
And
realistic construction vehicle colors, and they aren't as interesting.
No, they're not.
So, anyway, Setayami says, do the show first and then you make the product. Sounds like Yu-Gi-Oh! You know what? Yeah, I would say that that at that point they were kind of starting that. Now, I don't know how long Yu-Gi-Oh's been around. How long? Yu-Gi-Oh's been around for a long, long
when you
time.
get into Yu-Gi-Oh, you got what we've seen as Americans, and then there is... it's edited from Japan, because basically they were much more murdery in it.
Okay.
You didn't go to the Shadow Realm, you just straight up died.
Okay, so we're
You know.
learning something. I'm going to go ahead and transform this guy into a lion, but you can continue if you know more about Yu-Gi-Oh!
Well, yeah, I mean, it was just, and it's one of those things that I think, I forget if they,
If I remember how to transform.
they did, the show when the cards were kind of to come out, I think, at the same time. I don't remember exactly. But it all happened in Japan first, and then it came over here. Where over here, we saw the show, and then the stuff came over.
So that's very interesting. I want to say that Yu-Gi-Oh is a lot older than we are aware of in the United States.
Not terribly that much older. I mean,
So-
Pokemon and those things, they were coming over fairly quickly, because they recognized the import. Well, it's kind of like, I always thought when I heard that Transformers came from Japan that the toys were more than a year behind. And then when I found out, no, it was just somebody saw what they had out last year and went, oh, these would be really cool.
Oh, okay. You know what? I kind of assumed that the Diaclone series had been around longer, too, but, well, I think the elements of the Diaclone series were
Well,
out
you
longer,
have
but
the whole
a lot of those-
Microman and all that, but I mean, they weren't terribly much more older. Nope, you got.
There we go.
Just don't forget the crotch tail.
And yeah, we have to have the crotch tail. There
Tail
we go.
that comes right out of what will be the front crotch of the robot.
Yeah, let's not talk about that. We're not talking about that.
No,
So-
that's why I totally had to point it out, because you wouldn't let me point that out much more than that.
That's right.
I told you that's why I would get you booted off the YouTube.
So let's go ahead and show this on the other camera. This is Razor Claw's lion mode. He does have an opening mouth, which is important for a lion. And I'm just going to say that looks awesome. He really does look fantastic in this mode. Love the colors, love the reflective, love the tail, love the body dynamics. No, there's not a lot of posability. Gen 1 character, of course he doesn't have a lot of posability. Doesn't matter. He looks great. Colors pop. Opening and closing jaw. You can kind of do things with the head and move it around. Now it's because of the way it transforms, but I don't care. I can have him look up. I can have him look down. I can have him shake his head no. That's it. It's all important. So yeah, Razor Claw, shining star of the Predacons right here. Easily the nicest figure, especially when you get to beast mode. I said it again. So, and unlike some of the other characters, he is one who, even in his robot mode, looks really, really good. So, I'm not going to put these guys together yet.
Oh, sure, gonna make them wait.
Well, because I want to be able to compare some of the Gen 1 creature modes to the Power of the Prime creature modes, and then we will build Predakings.
That's fine. That's fine.
So that brings us to Power of the Primes. Power of the Primes was 2017. I think it was 2017. And
yeah, that would be right.
and so let's go ahead and get out the box. Oh, wait, the box is right here.
So say you had the box.
So this is the box. Now, you didn't buy the Predacons as individual figures. You bought Predaking as a Titan scale combiner. And it is obvious what the priority of this set was. You look at the back, and it's all about Predaking. Like, they're showing Predaking in all of his glory, and then oh look, on the side they do something else,
Well, let's face it, all the combiner teams. Did you really go? Stunticons, but man, dead end.
Maybe I'm a Dead End fan.
Bullshit.
Agreed. The combined form is the that's the meat, but having a good form like the Terracons. You look at the Power of the Primes Terracons, and some of those toys, just as non-combined robots that turn into creatures, like I'm gonna say Ripper Snapper. Just a fantastic toy, even if he didn't combine.
You just wanted to say Ripper Snapper. That's the only reason. Right?
I did kind of want to say Ripper Snapper.
I mean, because I know you love Blot, so
I love Blot, but Blot in Power of the Primes is not as cool as I would have liked him to have been. I'm gonna have to do some.
Ice Bear likes turtle.
Ice Bear likes turtle, and that's his favorite combiner.
Now, if you had been able to get the Seacons, you could have got the turtle eyes
wait
or
a
whatever.
minute.
But
all right, everybody.
Do I need to move out of here?
Everybody, I need you to move away from your screens for just a second. Just a second. I'm gonna make it quick.
The Transformers will return after these messages.
My chair don't roll no good.
Hasbro, come here. Seacons! What the hell? I pre-ordered them. I no longer have a pre-order showing up on Big Bad Toy Store, which, by the way, Big Bad Toy Store is not a sponsor, but it could be, so, Big Bad Toy Store. Anyway, so...
Call him, not me, just,
Thank you for that. But I had a pre-order for the Seacons. Now when I go to Big Bad Toy Store, no more pre-order. No more Seacons showing up. Yet, I still don't have any Seacons. How does that work? Normally, I pre-order, then they come out, they take my money, and I get Seacons. But I don't have any Seacons, but there's no pre-order. Okay, everybody can come back.
Now return to the Transformers.
So, obviously, you look at the packaging.
I think you might be a bit touchy on that.
So, you look at the packaging, and it's all about Predaking. The big writing on this box. Writing on this box is Predaking. It does say
Transformers.
Predacons up. Yes, okay, it does say Transformers.
And it's bigger than Predaking.
But still, the white on black, which stands out more than red on black,
I like the red better.
says Predaking. And that's really what the combined form was the high priority.
As opposed to just pointing out the giant picture of Predaking, not the robots.
Right. Right. It's not
that one is easier to point out.
Notice that they didn't do a group shot that shows all of the team and then Predaking kind of looming in the background, maybe in shadow. They're just showing Predaking. That's it.
But all the box they did for the combiners, even back in Gen 1 when you got Devastator in a box, Superion in a box, or a turd in a box, interchangeable with Superion.
So Superion, right?
Yeah.
Then, so yeah, so obviously when we go to the Power of the Primes Predacons, the priority was Predaking, but that doesn't mean that you can't have good robot and vehicle modes, as demonstrated by the Combiner Wars Devastator. Combiner Wars Devastator is a very good set of robots, and yes, they're stated to be Voyager scale. That's a little bit iffy, and certainly if you take one of those characters and compare them to a normal Voyager scale, you can tell that they're more cheaply made. But it's not like, oh my gosh, this is just a little pile of crap and this thing's great. It's like, oh, you know, there's some more hollowness in this. There's a little bit less articulation, and this is a little bit more well developed.
That's because you're talking about Constructicons as opposed to, oh, this is an aerial bot. Well, then yeah, it's a pile of crap.
You know, the Combiner Wars aerial bots were great.
They were pretty decent.
They were pretty.
I mean,
but
the aerial bot. Well, really, in my mind, the aerial bots really weren't the whipping boy as much as, to me, the Stunticons.
I like the Stunticons, but I will say that Gen 1 Stunticons pretty bad. But I think that the aerial bots were worse.
I didn't like Motor Master.
Well, he was dinky.
He was dinky.
He was a tractor trailer, and they showed him in the show as being able to head off with Optimus Prime, and you have Optimus Prime, and then you have Motor Master. And it's like, this is one of the cases where you could really justify having the oversized central character, and he was undersized. It didn't work.
So Canadian Ranger wants to know how many, I'm assuming by con teams, we're talking combiner teams, were there in Gen 1? So you had Devastator, the original.
Right.
Then you go into the Scramble City, where you've got Superion, Menasor, Bruticus, and
Terracons, Abominus.
Terracons, Abominus, but
and then you have Monstructor.
Well, yeah, Monstructor.
Which was the Decepticon. And then, of course, you had Predaking. So that was 7. And then you get
you forgot the Predacons.
He was asking for Decepticons.
Well, I thought he meant... were we talking cons as Decepticons or cons as combiners?
I think that he meant cons as Decepticons, because cons has an N, combiners has an M.
True.
So anyway,
the con teams, there was Devastator, Menasor, Bruticus, Abominus.
This is not counting the Micromaster combiners. You know what? By that time, I wasn't even collecting them at that point. I couldn't find them in stores, and they just weren't as interesting. You know, little tiny robots that make a slightly larger robot are not nearly as cool as larger robots that make a big husky robot. So yeah, I'm gonna say that of the main combiners, there were 7 cons, Decepticon teams, and then with the Autobots, you had a lot fewer. You had aerial bots,
Protectobots,
Technobots, and
I think it was
that was.
I think it was it.
Yeah. And then you go to Combiner Wars, where it's completely flipped.
You had Skylinks that combined together, but it was this one thing, and they always paired it off
with
Predaking because, well,
there was no Autobot combined team, and Skylinks wasn't a team. He was a dude. He may have been a combiner, but not a combiner team. So that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at. Let's start before we.
Or you're gonna change because you got Torox because he's not allowed to be called
Tantrum. I'm gonna start with Rampage because we started with Rampage last time. So we've got Rampage. Rampage looks really good in robot mode. I like his robot mode.
A little bit of kibble on the back.
There's definitely some kibble on the back. Let's take a look. He's got the kibble on the arm, which isn't so bad. It's there, but then he's...
It's one of the things that the downside to there being basically almost no needed parts. Well, even really, you need almost the same amount of parts.
Almost.
So...
Almost.
The kibble, I mean, it's more posable, but...
But, yeah, you're still adding fists and feet. You don't have to add a head. So they managed to take out one extra piece.
Ooh, you managed to do what Defensor could do in Gen 1.
Very good point. That's a good point. With Power of the Primes Predaking, they managed to take out the headpiece, but you're still adding fists and feet. They had already accomplished that with Defensor in Gen 1. Nonetheless, we do have other attributes. He is fully posable.
Yeah, you get posability in both Robot and in Super Robot.
Yes. And so he's got shoulder joints that come out like this. He's got elbow joints. He's got a lot of ball joints. He can move his head around. Yes, he has a big backpack piece that really, it's just there. It just hangs out. But I have seen worse kibble on Transformers Cyberverse RC.
Any of the shell formers. I mean, go back to I've got an entire boat on my back.
Thunderblast.
Thunderblast,
which I modified mine so that you can take the boat off, and then you just have a really cool female robot figure, and she can carry a boat around with her. Which, so
kind of like in Tales from the Floating Vagabond, where I had a person who carried a canoe around because they had swing things as a weapon skill, so they hit people with a canoe.
That would probably be effective.
Yeah.
So this is Rampage, and I do really like the robot mode. He looks good, and the posability is good. Let's go ahead and turn him into a creature. I'm going to take the gun off.
So he has a tail?
So that he has a tail.
Pipe.
We'll talk about that. We're going to talk about that. Give me a second. So we flip the head down. And it I don't like, it's very, very snappy. I don't like that, but that's, thank you for
welcome.
Giving me a
You're
beat.
absolutely
Giving me a beat.
Welcome.
We're going to flip the fists in at the wrists. I like what you do with the arms. The arms just wrap up. There's this double hinge at the elbow. And there's a little tab in here so that they nest and they just kind of make the bicep, I guess that's a bicep of the cat foot. And then we're going to rotate them like this, rotate them forward, and then rotate these
gotta
like
make
that.
them dab.
And then, so at this, with the backpack thing, you're going to rotate it around and do that. Then the legs actually do the same thing as a lot of the Combiner Wars figures. They've got a double hinge on the inside, and they're just going to collapse around, and you really got to snap them in, just like that. I kind of wish that a lot of the Combiner Wars figures would be that definitive in how they collapse. It's a little bit of an aggressive snap, but...
yeah, I agree with you. I think Dudley.
Yes, that's definitely Dudley.
Okay.
So the feet are these panel things. I'm just going to say right now, what I'm about to show you is bad. It's just bad. So they're on these double hinges. We're going to go around and take them to the side of the leg. We're going to pull the creature legs out. We are going to put them together like this. They do kind of tab in together. And so now we've got that. And then the whole body goes back like that. And then we swing the legs down. And now we've got... This is the cat mode.
He's a Manx.
He's a Manx.
Meow meow.
Although you can make him into more of... There's a gun tail.
Pew pew! I shoot out my butt at you.
Let's go to the other camera. All we can do is go to the other camera. And I am so sorry for what you're about to see.
I'm not.
All right, so this is his cat mode, and it's kind of uninspired. Let me move Dive Bomb out of the way so that you can really see here. So from the front 3/4, it doesn't look bad. And you've got posability on the front limbs. You've got an opening mouth, which is nice. So yeah, you can do that. But as you work your way back, this body doesn't make sense, and it doesn't look good. This is bad. And then you get to this. What the hell is this?
Ice Bear's tired of staring at this guy's butt.
Oh no, Ice Bear is not. We are going to stare at this guy's butt a little bit longer.
Well, it is a cat, and cats like to show off their butts. So.
Yeah, let's just do this. That's like every cat that I've ever owned likes to do it. Like, it doesn't work that way. So, just hollow behind the legs. These don't pivot at all. We got a bunghole right here.
Yeah,
We've got no articulation in the back half. It's not a good cat body. And let's go ahead and pull out the original.
Yeah, the original,
So, the original, yes, he doesn't have any posability either, but he actually looks like a cat. He's got his own tail. He's got cat-like legs here. He's got nice body proportions. Okay, so what? He's got a robot head cat beard. I don't care, because look at this thing. What are they doing? What is that? What? Okay. You explain to me what's going on here.
Hey, don't shove the big giant "I have been violated" bunghole.
And don't point your cat ass at me.
Pew! Yeah, I gotta admit, honestly, I look at this and go, wow, this is,
That is not a step up.
no, okay.
That is not a step up.
It is marginally more, these still don't do anything.
Marginally more posable.
Because this does, the back legs do the same thing.
The back legs on this one do more than the back legs on
Yeah,
that one.
they do. So you get more front posable. Sure, he can go, meow, I'm swiping, meow, I'm swiping, but, you have this.
That was really well done. You know what? That's the best part of the live stream, everybody. Good night. That's the high point. And I think we should be concerned that the high point of this live stream is a fart joke. So, you know what? This guy needs some Pepto for that. So here we go.
I don't know. I think he needs some broccoli. Here, have some broccoli, kitty.
There we go. So yeah. Oh my gosh! Nature View is here. Nature View. Hey. Is this because Nature View is here? I need a candle. I need a candle. Yes. Done. Okay, so yes.
I'm pretty sure it's past NC-17.
It might be.
Actually, no. For most modern TV, even I would say no. It's tamer than what is on, like,
okay,
even the before 10 o'clock stuff.
Here we go, and we're gonna do that. And all right, everybody, it is Nature. Yesterday was Nature. Well, 2 days ago was Nature View's birthday. So happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Nature View.
Or for you, sorry.
Happy birthday to you. So there we go. Yay, Nature View.
Sorry, I had a wrestling moment there.
There we go.
Wrestling.
I'm going to set that aside because if I eat that whole thing with all the booze that I've drank tonight, I am going to puke. And also, here, give me a dive bomb. Give me dive bomb.
And you have Razor Claw?
Yes, I have Razor Claw here. This is for Nature View's husband. Okay, this is for you, Josh.
I got a question. Is it a nature view to hell?
It is a nature view to hell.
Oh, okay.
So, yes.
Actually, you know what? You know what's a nature view to hell? Right here.
That is a nature view. And you know what? We miss you guys so much, and we've got to try and fix this at some point. But nonetheless, we were just talking about how Power of the Primes
Oh, don't point that thing at me.
Power of the Primes 2017 Rampage. Rampage? No.
That's
Rampage.
Rampage.
Versus 1986 Rampage. I'm sorry. Just looking at this toy versus this toy, the original is better. They have more posability in this one. Yes, it's got a better robot mode, but you're looking at the cat modes, no contest. This one's better. Oh, and yes, we've got gun. So there we go. We've got Guntail that apparently fires every time I show it to the camera. Like right now.
Wait,
one more.
By the way, Nature View says that he's not. It's that he says that's not what he asked for. Well, you know. I'm sure I'm not what most people asked for when they signed up for this live stream.
I'll tell you what. At some point soon here, I will make the 30-second video of Transformers kissing, and we will see how well it does on Retrobot. We will let the internet decide. So, yes, we will get more Transformer kissy noises. So anyway, so that is Rampage. Let's set that aside.
You want me to help with that one? I can.
No.
I
do not.
Come on.
I really don't.
You know,
I don't
I'm really
need your
great
help.
with posing your Transformers.
I don't need Don's help with that one. So,
they will definitely be doing something, Ing.
So, I remember when this was a good, wholesome live stream, and then we added booze. No, the booze was always there, and then we added fart noises. Yeah. So let's go ahead and let's talk about Dive Bomb. Let's just go ahead and we're moving along the arms of Predaking, and we're looking at Dive Bomb. This is 2017 Power of the Primes Dive Bomb, and on the upside we have a lot of articulation. He can move his arms all over the place. He can move his legs. He's got knee joints. He's got a very flexible stomach.
Oh, wow.
He's got some flexible abs there. So,
he's approaching twerking there.
So he's got he's got wings. Now he can flap his wings, whereas original Dive Bomb cannot. But he doesn't have that pivot joint that allows you to swing them up further. So you gain and you lose. But you look at the robot mode, and he's got a very, very long torso. His body dynamics are really odd. He's got very low shoulders. It's almost like if they could have done something to make the head sunk down into the chest so that these were just high shoulders, it would have really helped the look of this figure. Because right now, he just seems to have short legs in comparison to everything, an elongated body, and some kind of odd dynamics. It's not a bad figure. It doesn't feel cheap, but it also has a tremendous amount of back kibble, which is disguised to some degree by the wings. We have the wings that add a lot, but let's look at him from the back. And he's got this enormous backpack piece here that is necessary for the combination to form Predaking. He's got this thing that I guess is supposed to look like a bird tail, which is an important part of that combination, but it's chunky and rectangular and doesn't really communicate well as a tail. So that's the new thing, I guess. Okay.
Colleen is here.
And Colleen is here! Holy crap! Colleen, I've had too much of this. Toast to Colleen. Colleen, I'll just let you know that 2 days ago it was Nature View's birthday, so please wish Nature View a happy birthday. Oh, and Josh is here! Josh, you just signed on so that you'd make me drink more. Oh my gosh. I am really, really going to regret tonight later. I'm just letting everybody know. I'm going to regret it. So let's go ahead and compare robot modes. Thank you for getting that out, because I think that it's worth showing the robot modes. We have Dive Bomb versus Dive Bomb. I'm going to move Razor Claw out of the way. So let's just stand him up, if we can get him to stand up. And we will stand him up, if we can get him to stand up. There. And really, now obviously we don't have nearly as much articulation in the original Dive Bomb, but his robot mode looks good. It looks good. His proportions are nice. And then you have more detail, certainly more detail on 2017 Dive Bomb, but you also have a lot of awkwardness. So I'm going to say that in terms of just the aesthetics of the robot mode, original Dive Bomb is still looking better.
One thing I'm looking at is the Dive Bomb is kind of chesty. I mean, he's a bird, so he's got a lot of breast meat going on here, but this guy doesn't.
Right.
But that's just I kind of like the body dynamic of this a little better. That's all. Though I really don't care about this beak face.
I will say that this Dive Bomb, you can actually see his face.
You can, but for some reason I just don't like it.
Oh, see, I like it. I think that's one of the few places where
I feel like it is vomiting face at you, and not a mask or something.
Well, what I like about it is that we don't have hollow underside. It's just contained. It's kind of doing the Voltron thing. He's kind of doing the Voltron thing.
But he forms the arm.
He does form the arm, but yeah. And I will say that the detail, the sculpted in detail, the molded in detail rather, is vastly superior.
Vastly that's
superior.
Not. I mean, it's kind of not fair to compare because that's something that they've just gotten a hell of a lot better at, which is
that's because
the molding.
This guy was designed in a computer and then CNC milled for the molded parts.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and take his little guns out.
Hand me a Dive Bomb while you're at that.
Yeah, here, you can have Gen 1 Dive Bomb, and you will turn him into bird mode.
Harvey Bird Mode!
So, Josh says, what I requested was a scene from Romeo and Juliet with Decepticons as Capulets transforming... and Transformers as Montagues. Oh, not Transform. You meant Autobots, but I'll give you that. I think reducing that to Transformers smooching is a bit of an oversimplification. You are correct.
No. It's Romeo and Juliet. It's two people smooching. You're fine.
But I misunderstood your email. I thought that you were just using that as an example. Because later you said, I'm envisioning a 30-second video of Transformers mashing their faces together with kissing noises. So I misunderstood. I apologize. But what soft light through yonder window breaks? It is the east, and Victorion is the sun. And wait, here. Do we need more dialogue? I feel like there needs to be more dialogue here. It 'tis the east, and Victorion is the sun. For this alliance may so happy prove to turn your household's rancor to pure love. Oh, happy dagger, this is thy sheath, there rust, and let me die.
I have already drank poison.
Well, you're right. That was great. And Kyoji's requesting that we insert Fred Savage complaining about the kissing parts from the Princess Bride. So there we go. For never was a story of more woe than this of Victorion and her abominus. I feel like this actually does have the germ of a pretty good idea. Now that, thank you, Canadian. Thank you, Ranger. We're just.
Let me fix your Pepto.
No.
Come on, you just
no.
add a little of this to your Pepto. It'll be great.
No, let's not do that. Let's not do that at all.
Can you pass me one of the bottles? I'll just put some vodka in there.
So
he's not looking.
So we're gonna transform Dive Bomb into his bird mode.
I already did that.
We're gonna transform this Dive Bomb into bird mode. We're gonna flip.
Not my fault. You're taking a while.
We're gonna flip the wrists in. He also has the double hinge in his elbows, just like Rampage, but this time you're going to tuck the arms back into this notch that is found in the wing backpack assembly. You're going to close the bird beak. So this is beak face. This one we can call beak face, I feel like. So we're also...
What wasn't that a proposed Batman villain, Beakface?
It probably was. His toe claws...
A lackey of the Penguin, probably?
Probably. Oh, look, we've got another missile down there. This doesn't go to a Dinobot.
No, this does not go to a Dinobot.
So,
specifically Slag. Not his.
So, his toes just like to pop out randomly. And so this is going to do... that same kind of Combiner Wars style thing where the lower leg collapses over the upper leg and then snaps in, which I do like the snap in. And then we can... And then I think that the rest, I think that's it. I think that's it. So this is Dive Bomb in his bird mode. And he's pretty good in a bird mode. I guess we can attach the weapons here. He's got these gun things, and he's got some holes in the side of his chest that you can do this. And there's also these pegs, which we could just do that. But I kind of like having them posable. I don't know, which do you prefer? Like this or like this? What do you think? This side or this side? What do you think?
That side.
You like that better? Okay, so we can do that.
It's sticking out. Well, here's the thing. If you stick out too far forward, it kind of doesn't. It feels clunky and doesn't look as aerodynamic. Okay. And he's a bird.
Okay.
It should feel kind of aerodynamic.
All right, we can do that. We have options. So this is his bird mode. It's actually a pretty good bird mode. Let's go ahead into the other camera. So he looks very dynamic, and the wings really look nice. I miss the gold on the wings. I really miss the gold on the wings. His wings are just a single piece of molded plastic, and the detail is just barely there. Let's take a look, and obviously the molding on the original Dive Bomb is also very, very subtle, but you've got the gold stickers, and this is a place where I wish that they would have added some paint detail here. They could have really made that pop, and instead they just left it kind of blank. Now we've got no robot face under here, where we do have robot face under here. We can set Gen 1 Dive Bomb down. We can set 2017 Dive Bomb down, and we can pose him, and we can put his wings back. And you know what? He looks great when he's perched. he really does look awesome. Whereas Gen 1 Dive Bomb, when you put him kind of perched, he is a little bit, that's.
But he's got a moving tail.
He does have a moving tail, and 2017 Dive Bomb does not. So I will say that this is a case where original Dive Bomb, very, very good in his creature mode. 2017 Dive Bomb, also very, very good. It is not without its problems. It is, he still has this box tail, which really doesn't look that great, but it's necessary for the combination. He's still got a lot of back kibble, backpacks and stuff that doesn't work that well. But overall, he is a very playable toy, and he's got a lot of really cool bird dynamics. And he can open his mouth. Now, granted, the farther that you open the mouth, the more you expose. Hello, I got a guy face in my beak. But you just kind of here. So he can vomit the guy's head.
Oh hell no!
So oh hell yeah!
But yeah, I'm gonna say that in that the new Dive Bomb is not a disappointment in comparison to the old Dive Bomb. I would say that they're comparable. I would give the nod to this one because he's got more detail, more posability. But I wish that they would have gone a little bit further. So, yeah, that's where I stand.
Well, now, one thing with the new Dive Bomb I'd like to touch on is, so the wings, right? There is a third-party upgrade kit where not only will these wings will pivot like you like, each of these individual feathers will spread, and they're gold.
And yes, and you know what? We're not going to talk about this one during this live stream, but let's go ahead and bring the other.
Well, what I wanted to point out is, so the wings already come off.
So that
the wings are already like attached, that they can come off easy without any screws. So it can be replaced.
It absolutely can be replaced.
And I think that is very interesting.
So, this is another one. So, just so that you know, this is not the last time that we're going to be talking about the Gen 1 Predacons. This is a Chinese knockoff of a third-party version of Predaking. And as you can see, this is amazing. And every toy in here is amazing. And we don't have time to compare this with everything else, so we're going to do this one in another live stream, and then we can compare him with the other ones and just reference this video. But you can see that in this one, we've got individual wing bits, and they are gold, and there is a lot of posability. But this guy is so involved and so difficult to transform that he is a live stream in himself. So that is, just thought I'd. And perhaps what we'll do is we'll get the upgrade kit for Predaking, for Gen 1 Predaking.
It's getting harder to find now. So.
Oh, did I say it?
No. Hydrate.
Oh.
Because we hit the 2-hour mark. You say I'm trashed. I'm already following this. This is the first time I've been here doing this crap. I mean, I fast forwarded through this,
So, all right. Yeah, but that wasn't related to what I was talking about. When you start, I understand. So my producer is pantomiming instructions to me, and then I don't know what she's talking about.
Are you eating your fruit?
No.
All right.
So, let's go ahead and take a look at Horrible Tantrum.
Torox, because we.
Oh yes, his name is Torox for some reason. I'm sure it's copyright reasons.
Oh, and Canadian Ranger wants to know what tonight's word is.
Here, give me the thing.
Oh, okay.
This
It's on the wrong cam.
I know.
I just figured I'd point that out.
It's this. This is the word. And yes, thank you, Canadian Ranger. Canadian Ranger says wars. So, but I am. This is number 3, and it was refilled at 1.5. So this is actually number 3.5. So add what's missing from here.
No. If it doesn't get empty and full again, it still counts as 1. Doesn't matter how long. It's kind of like at a party. I only drank 2 beers because I lost my first cup, but it was never empty, so I could have only ever have drank 2. So
Sure.
now, as we saw, I emptied mine. Unfortunately, not nearly as smoothly as I intended, but hey.
So
There might have been some alcohol abuse involved.
So this is not Torox. It says Torox on the box, but we all know that this is Tantrum. And he's got the giant Predaking foot as a weapon, which is here. It's got this big thing. Now, I've done some surgery on this.
Really?
I know, that's shocking. I did a little bit of kit bashing, and I haven't even really
You
cleaned
don't
it
say.
up. Ideally, so this thing is supposed to, I guess you flip it sideways, and then I don't know. You do something with it, but
I think it's supposed to mount to his shoulder.
so it mounts to his shoulder. So maybe.
No, the cannons. I think. Hold on. I think it.
Okay, wait here. Let me switch camera views while you show what you think.
I thought I saw.
Hold it up. Yeah, that's what I thought I saw, but I don't think it goes. Nope. 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 Okay.
I don't remember. Okay.
Yeah. I want to say that there was something else.
Oh no! It slots on this thing on the top. You see there are these things, and it's supposed to. I don't know if it's like this bit. One of these things are supposed to slot on like this. It's really freaking stupid.
Yeah, I think maybe he just is supposed to carry it like a boombox, maybe like that. I don't know. But there is a peg for him to hold it, so he can hold it. I kind of wish that there was a hole on the underside of his fist, so he could hold it from the underside. Nonetheless, it seems like there should be something that he can do here, and I just don't see it. I just don't see it. So, yeah, I'm going to ignore that. Nonetheless, that's his foot. And let's go ahead and look at the robot mode. Yeah, they're just carrying them like boom boxes. Oh, wait a minute. It does kind of look like
It's.
Let's see. So we've got.
It goes the other way around.
Okay. So, all right, let's do this right. So we've got that slot there, and then you can just wedge that in there like that, and that is.
Hold on. Gen 1 can do it too.
Oh, crap. So, that is what they show that they can clip in. And, you know, I've seen worse things, but boy, that's awkward. It is very awkward, and it's very heavy for him. You see that he is barely holding himself up. I guess you could put that up. Maybe we'll do it on this side. There. And now this thing can hang down a little bit and not stick out. So there, we can do that. And let's forget about that for the time being. Let's look at the robot mode. His robot mode looks really good. he feels solid. He's got lots of points of articulation. He can swivel his head. He can get into cool punching poses. And then you rotate him around, and oh, what the hell is that on his back?
That's not a monkey.
He's got a handle for his gun mode.
No, God! No, God, please, no! No! No!
So
No!
this is his gun mode. Okay, it's not his gun mode.
It's about as much gun mode as, say, most Battle Masters. So,
So, yeah, he's got ginormous, chunky back kibble. And it's only here for Predaking. And when we get to the beast mode, oh, I said it again. Okay, so
No. I'm sure it's just one. I don't think
it's
it ever
at
got
least
up to.
two.
Oh no, it's just one. It's
Oh my
fine,
gosh.
fine.
So let's go ahead and I'm gonna. Well, let me just give you a close up. His sculpt looks great. I will say that his sculpt looks great.
The arms could use a little work. He doesn't have the Popeye arms. Popeye arms are great.
His arms look great. His chest looks great. His colors look great. His posability looks great. If you get past the giant, the enormous block on his back, then yeah, he's pretty cool. But I will say that for live streams, he's actually pretty handy because I can do this. And
Hey, it's a Con Pro.
look at that. That's great. So here, let's go to the other camera. So yeah. Oh wait, here. I'll do this. So look. That robot mode looks awesome.
What? Did we just become best friends?
Yep.
No.
So let's go ahead and turn this guy. Well, I guess we can compare robot modes.
That's what I did. that for
Okay,
you.
so
I see. I'm on top of it. You say I'm on top of these things.
all right. So let me put down the handle.
Oh, here. I got a handle too.
He does have.
I have a handle too. I can do that.
And I've kind of screwed around with the feet a little bit. There we go. I think there and all right. So we'll put him there like that, and let's just compare. There we go. We have 2017 versus 1986. That's all I have to say about that. That's yeah. That's
Just so you know, I'm a hugger.
yes, he is a hugger. Oh gosh.
I don't want that to be too well seen. People might actually think I am a hugger.
So yeah, he's no contest.
Yeah,
let's
you're
just
right.
say-
Gen 1 wins. I mean, come on, look at those Popeye arms.
Here, I'll let you have the Gen 1 back. Let's go ahead and turn these guys into their creature modes. So for this guy, we're going to rotate the head around. We're going to open up his legs. And then
High on a hill was a lonely goat, huddley, 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 ooh.
I don't know what. Oh, the horns? Oh, but he's not a goat. Okay. How much have you had to drink tonight?
I think you should have gone with Street Fighter M. Bison.
Oh, yeah, I could see that. So there's a little tab in here, and there's a little slot in the tip of the foot. You're going to put those together to make the back kind of lock together. The front half of the leg just goes around here, and then you're going to pull the creature legs out like that. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. And then we take the arms. The arms just become the front legs of the creature, which I'm usually not a fan of. It does work in this case. And then there's nothing conspicuous at all.
This is some fucked up repugnant shit.
So let's just go ahead and go to the cheaper camera here. That is his creature mode. And what the hell?
Wow, that's a well hung bull there.
That is. What am I holding on to here? It's hinged up here, okay? I'm just gonna remind you, it's hinged up here. That's a whole lot of what the hell. And that's the way it's supposed to go. That's it. Also, so the way that this thing was designed, it actually is supposed to attach. Let's see. It attaches like this, and then they would show the pictures of it like that, conspicuously like that, and then. Oh, he's got this shelf thing just sticking out. And
That's a mini-con port. He can sit there and ride it. He can be a bull rider.
No.
Yeah.
It is not.
That's where you put the Titan Master.
That is sucktastic. That's what that is. It is sucktastic. And so here's what I did. So I cut away some of this. It used to be squared off like this. I cut this away, and then I made it so that you can take this piece and put it into the cavities in between the leg pieces here, and then close them down and snap it together. Wait, here. There we go. And there we go. And so now it attaches like that. And I really don't understand why Hasbro couldn't have done that. It's not a big change, and it makes the attachment more secure, and it looks better, and he doesn't have a stupid freaking shelf sticking out of the side of him. You've got some articulation in the front a little bit. If you dislodge the shoulder here, you pull it back like it is when it's in robot mode, then you can actually do a little bit more with it, but it looks a little bit less like a bull or a ram or an ox or bison or whatever the hell it's supposed to be. This is the Gen 1 right next to it, and of course it has no articulation either, except for a little bit of head swivel. He's also got head swivel. He can't open his mouth, which is disappointing. His legs have very little articulation. You can do that. So, the creature mode, while it does look good, they both look good in their creature modes. There's this. And that's really hard to ignore. I mean, it's just so massive and so obvious, and absolutely nothing was done to try and disguise it.
Don't mess with the bull, young man. You'll get the horns.
You know what? If I mess with this bull, I'm gonna get a giant piece of Predaking thigh. That's what I'm gonna get.
That's code for the horns.
Yeah, that is bad. I don't understand. I don't understand. Hasbro, explain to me why this is necessary. Why? And notice that I mean, there's not even any concavity or anything where you tried to nest it in. It's just there. And look, there's even a gap here where I can look through. It's not integrated into the design at all. Now, at least it's black, so that it kind of fades to the background a little, I guess.
Not on that whiteboard it does. It kind of stands out.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna say that we've got some face under here, which is also disappointing for a 2017 guy. It's.
I gotta say I like Gen 1 better.
You know what?
Cause there's not. He's a brick in the animal mode, right?
They're both bricks in animal mode, so here, I'll take that.
This looks cooler than this.
I will
This
agree.
looks like
And
a big turd.
Let me go ahead and do him the way that they want you to do him. So yeah, we've got that. We've got the mini-con shelf, and then yeah, I will say that creature mode Gen 1 wins, hands down. Gen 1 wins. Robot mode, the new one is far superior. I will say that.
I mean, let's put it this way: if you get a 2018 toy from Hasbro, 17, 16, even 14, and you go, you know what? Gen 1, they did better. There's a problem.
In some ways, like you look at the Gen 1 Dinobots, and they were made to a status of detail and care that we're probably not going to see again in a regular toy line. We can see that kind of thing.
Well, in like robot mode, you know, they've gotten a lot more posability.
Right.
You know.
Right. Absolutely.
And you don't sacrifice usually much on the other mode. You get great posability, and usually, sometimes you don't get as decent, but this is bad. This is bad, and this is just. It's just cutting corners, and it's cutting important corners. There is no reason why this had to be like this, other than they're just cutting corners, cutting costs, whatever the case. And there's a lot of plastic in this toy, but I think that they could have come up with better design solutions. Now, one thing they did do that is cool is in the guns, there's the fist.
Yes.
Which you like because you can't keep track of your crap.
So.
Just saying. Because you're always whining about losing fists. I'm like, I didn't lose any of my fists.
Most people lost their fists.
I didn't lose my fists.
Joe Hammaker lost all of his fists.
Yeah, Joe Hammaker had like dogs like peeing over his toys and whatnot. I mean, you know, there were a lot of issues here.
So, yeah.
You know, they got chewed.
So, robot mode,
some of them
better.
Got humped. They're dogs.
Animal mode, not. And the way that they integrated the foot as a weapon, not well done. Just not well done. Not well done. So that is Tantrum, and let's go ahead and take a look at Headstrong, who also has the capability. Let's go ahead and do. Oh, he has the capability for his arm to fall off. So let's go ahead and do what we've discovered.
Wait, did you get that one from Hammaker?
Ha ha!
Yeah.
So this is Headstrong with his boombox. There we go. So that's Headstrong with his boombox. Once again, we have a pretty good-looking robot mode until you get again to the giant handle in the back. It is soul-crushing to me to have so much done pretty well and then have one glaringly obvious, poorly done decision. Just, it's almost like they didn't even try and solve the problem. And it's like, oh well, he has to connect somehow. He needs a leg, so we're just gonna stick it on him and have it be in the belly of the beast. Because otherwise, the colors are nice, the articulation is nice. Let's go ahead and show it on the other camera. So we've got him here, and this thing is way too heavy for him. So let's just set that aside. We can put him into a cool looking pose here. Yeah, and then we've got him, and you can precariously balance. You know what? Let's just leave this. And
the feet don't want to snap in, so the back feet. I don't know why. I don't like how they feel. So
yeah. We will get there. So
yeah, well, we'll have to address that when we get to Predaking.
So I'm gonna say, obviously, once again, the new version looks great in robot mode. You have to ignore the giant back kibble, but the rest of it looks awesome. His detail is fantastic. His articulation is fantastic. The head sculpt is fantastic. Once again, there's some face underneath here. And then we've got him with his, he's a Gen 1 brick. He doesn't even have feet. He has feet. So let's go ahead and turn these guys into creatures. And so once again, this is going to be vaguely similar. We're going to rotate the head around. We're going to tuck the arms down, and they become the creature legs. Same deal here, where we have the feet that split apart. And do that. We can rotate the other halves of the feet around here and pull the creature legs out, and then snap the feet, the tips of the feet, into the notches in the waist. And then we'll swing this around and do that. And then we'll just take that giant piece of crap right there and put it there. And now we have this.
I got mine done first. I win.
And we've got this. And of course, once again, you're supposed to do
you gotta
this.
Have this cam right.
Oh yeah. Let's do that. So of course you're supposed to do that. I modified that one as well, so that I didn't have to, but I will show it as it was intended, with the giant shelf on the side. So yeah, that's you got that. You've got that. He's got that. He does have that. But once again, there's really not a whole lot more posability in this creature than there is in this. There's a little bit more. You've got the front legs that can do some stuff. But other than that, there are... this one can actually kind of buck his head and really use his horn. This one cannot tip his head forward, which, oh, well, we'll have to find that later. I see it, but...
so that's a feature? The missile launching nose?
I guess the nose...
Is that due to Japanese...
Way to go, Fumbles! That's perfect. Ah, that settles it. Welcome to the team,
Fumbles!
We'll fix that later. So we're just gonna... I guess his head wasn't as strong as we thought. See what I did there? His head isn't as strong as it thought. So yeah, we've got that, and so once again, this is not... It's bigger, it's more detailed, but then you have these obvious things that really, really detract. So...
One thing I will say is, since he's a... the black combiner thigh...
doesn't seem quite as... So Kyoji was just commenting that the black combiner thigh, it doesn't seem quite as onerous. As that's a good word.
No, it's not. Well, and it's partly because he's a rhino, and rhinos are supposed to be big and thick and chunky,
I
and
will
have
give you
kind
that.
of stubby little legs by comparison.
I will, yeah.
That's our cultural thought of a rhino. Rhinos are also supposed to have at least 1 or 2 horns, not 0.
I don't need your help with that.
Oh no, you don't. That's what I'm here for.
Once again, it's not even incorporated into the body. There's no little panels that overlap it so that it seems like it's integrated into the body. It's just there. I can look through it and see the camera. Hello. So I will say that you're right. Kyoji, you are right. As a rhino with a very thick body, it's not quite as bad because of the nature of the, I have to say it, the beast. But...
Yay!
So... But I think that that's just a happy accident. It's not that they put more thought into this one than they did the other one. No thought was really put into dealing with this piece, and that's what bothers me about it. It was just like, well, we'll just put it behind the robot or underneath the belly of the thing, and that's good enough. And it's not. It's just not. So. Let's go ahead and set these aside, and here, we'll give you that. And let's look at Razor Claw.
But don't forget, this is one horny guy. One horn.
Let's not do
that. That's wonderful.
Let's not do that.
That's beautiful right there.
That was not good.
That was totally...
Here we have Power of the Primes Razor Claw, and... I think that Razor Claw in this set is probably the biggest disappointment. I'm looking at him, and his lion head is really, really big in comparison to the rest of him. His body is smaller than the rest of the Predacons, and maybe that's nitpicking, but he just looks kind of dinky. For a character that's supposed to be the toughest of the group and the most badass. Now, he doesn't have huge amounts of kibble. That is something that they did manage to pull off. Not a lot of kibble. But and of course he is posable. So we can get him into, we can articulate the joints and make him look like he's doing stuff. But boy, his midsection is so heavy. And his limbs are so proportionally smaller that he just doesn't look as cool. And now we're not doing that either. So let's compare him to Gen 1 Razor Claw. And obviously you have some very, very short arms here. And so that hurts it. He really needs arms that are almost twice as long as these, and you just have to accept that. But the rest of his body dynamics are actually pretty nice. He's got these nice things on the shoulders that make his shoulders look broad. Whereas this Razor Claw has these little tiny things that don't do much at all.
They're just kind of there as an homage to the original.
Yeah, they don't really do anything. So...
I think they're supposed to go pew, 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 pew.
I don't know what they're supposed to do. So I'm going to say that Robot Mode, Gen 1 Razor Claw, looks way better than Gen 2 Razor Claw. I'm just going to go ahead and say that.
Here's something. With Gen 1, one of the reasons the head is so massively large is you want to show them what the head does?
So the head on this one also has the Power of the Primes gimmick of carrying a combination matrix. And so there we go. we've got that, and then this turns into you had told me the name of this guy before.
Onyx Prime.
That is Onyx Prime. And so he transforms, and they even have a little matrix holder. And I will say that that's pretty cool.
Well, yeah.
That is pretty cool. And then that goes in there, and you can actually pull this thing out, and he can try and darken the Autobot's lightest hour. So there's that. But boy,
because of that feature, the head had to be incredibly. Which I mean,
well, no, actually it doesn't, because this is not contained inside here. That it's just kind of a door in front. They could have made it a little smaller. But they're going again. The priority was not the figure. The priority was the combined form, and we're going to get to that very soon. But let's go ahead and transform these guys into lions, so that we can compare the creature modes. For him, I'm going to twist his head and fold it back that way. And then I'm going to take this head and I'm going to close it against that. I'm going to flip the fists into the arms and swing the arms down. And then there's kind of a double joint here in the shoulder so that the legs of the lion go underneath. And then we've got lion legs, the small legs here, in the backs of the robot legs. So we're going to pull those down, and we're going to swing these leg panels out to the side here, and then we're going notice that the back half of the leg, or actually the front of the robot leg, is on a double joint. It's going to swing around.
I got mine done.
There's a lot more here. We're going to take these panels and flip them up that way, and then flip this whole thing down. We're going to point these forward, and then we're going to close that. There's a little tab here and a little notch here, so we're just going to put those together, and that's going to kind of hold it into place. And then we can swing these panels, these side panels, back over there like that. And now we can take this gun and we can put it right there, just like that. Or if you'd like it to maybe cover the back a little bit more, you could rotate it around backwards. And the shooty part is now pointing backwards, but he does kind of have a jet turbine on the front. So there we go. And let's go ahead and put these guys in front of the camera.
I just want to point out right now. Ooh, 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 I've got tail, and that one doesn't, and he can swing his hips. And that one, I don't know if he can swing his hips.
He can swing his hips.
He can swing his hips.
Well, no, he can't.
No, he can't swing his hips.
No, he can't swing his hips.
I'm just, taunting it again that, I think in creature mode,
let's go ahead to the other camera. So, let's just point that down a little bit. So here we go. We have 2017 Razor Claw versus 1986 Razor Claw. And 1986 Razor Claw looks way better in creature mode. He just does. Look at the dynamics of the shoulders. We've got the legs that really look good here. Yes, he's a brick. He has not a lot of posability. You get a little bit of motion here, not much.
And you got hip action.
And you got hip action here.
But he has a tail.
But he does have a tail. This guy doesn't have a tail, and there's really not a whole lot you can do with the arms unless you, again, pull them out and make them look more like the regular robot arms, but then he kind of loses his cat physique. He's got no claws.
And he doesn't got big shoulder cannons.
He doesn't have shoulder cannons. Yeah, there's nothing going on the side here. You've got these little things here that don't really do much of anything. You could, because of the combined form, you could stick those out. That doesn't really help anything.
Ooh, yeah, that's
so. So yeah, his mouth does open,
Well, so does the other one.
and so does the other one.
Basically, he doesn't have head under chest.
He does not have head under chest. So Razor Claw definitely, the 1986 Razor Claw definitely has head under chest. This guy, they've hidden the head nicely, but the lion mode is very disappointing in this version. It's just very disappointing.
Now, one thing is, though, in this lion mode,
Here, you can...
well, here's the thing. This is hiding in here somewhere.
That's true.
So so I mean, it's not like
That's true. They have incorporated Predaking's head inside this toy, whereas in Gen 1 you just added the head.
Although another weird thing I think is interesting is apparently, look, his Decepticon symbols are upside down on his arms.
Huh. Yeah, that seems like a design flaw.
The
sticker is obviously in the right place because
Yeah.
there's a recess for it. They just printed the Decepticon symbols the wrong direction for where they went. That's a good eye. Yeah.
And it's not like you go, oh well, his arm. No, this is his
That's the only way
arms
it can go.
face this way. So
Yeah, that is the only way it can go. All right, well,
just saying, I've got tail. I've got tail.
you're going to have the easy job here. I've got to turn... We've got to make 2 Predakings. And here, you want to do 2016 Predaking?
No,
Are you sure?
Because this is the Predaking I love.
So, yeah, I gotta make Predaking, and this is gonna be a thing, and I don't know how to make this any less painful than it's gonna be. So let's just get to it. Let's start with the legs, and I think I'm getting a message from my producer. Canadian Ranger is going to bed. Oh, Canadian Ranger! Ah, I'm sorry that you're going to bed. We will miss you. Good night, Canadian Ranger. Ah, his nose is running. That sucks. I hope that you feel better. So, getting back to Predaking, we are going to tuck in the creature legs. And I believe that these can just go around the back. And then we take the foot just like this. We're going to put it up in between the animal legs here, and it's going to notch in. Let's see if I can figure out where it notches in. Notches in somewhere. It notches in somewhere. There we go. So there we go. We got that. And then, whoops. Oh, and we also have a Predaking fist. So that's important. Oh, you know what? I don't think that this is the correct foot. So let me get the other foot over there. So there, we will do this.
I do not like.
And while Dawn is there's a stuck part, and it's 34 years old. We really don't want to force it. So I'm going to let you continue to fight with that while I do this, and then
There we go. It was
okay,
the
you got
slidey
it.
bit.
All right. So we've got a leg, and see, this was the goal. Of course, they wanted to make an entire leg that had an articulated knee, and get that all in one robot. But boy, it really hurts the design of the toy to get all of that. I feel like they could have come up with another solution. So, excuse me. So I'll set that aside, and now I'm going to do the other leg. And Dudley is very upset. And we can pull the arms out. We're gonna rotate that up.
All right, so there's a leg.
There's a leg. I feel like you're gonna catch up to me now.
No fair. I could have done it. I didn't want to break the part. I could have done it. I got another one here because somebody cheated.
Is she helping you?
No, because she just did it without my permission. She totally violated my transforming rights. And besides which, my drink is empty.
Alright, so there is another...
It's really wrong of me to do that, by the way.
It is, but you know what? I feel like at 10:45, like 2 hours and 45 minutes into a live stream about Predacons, then things get a little bit wacky.
Well, but I think it's important to acknowledge that it's still,
It's still wrong.
It's still wrong.
Yeah.
You know, I mean...
So I'm going to pull the weapons off of Dive Bomb. Now this is where Dive Bomb separates into pieces, just like Gen 1 Predaking. We have Dive Bomb separating. Okay, let me move the arms out of the way. And I think... there. It's on a slide.
Ready to form Voltron. Activate interlock. Dynatherms connected. Infracells up. Mega thrusters are go. Go, Voltron force.
Made up more bullshit. I mean, honestly, what's a Dynatherm anyway?
Well, it needs connected.
Well, I understand, but...
So...
No,
I will
that
say-
is not what a Dynatherm is, Dudley.
I will say that this is very, very interesting. This is actually just a fantastic innovation in the combination that that I would have never anticipated. But to have the midsection and the lower torso be made up of the parts of Dive Bomb and then have the wings attached to that is really creative. So I will give the nod to the Hasbro designers for coming up with that, because that is actually pretty darn cool. So Kyoji was just commenting that they should have tried to at least incorporate the hips into Razor Claw like the G1 toy. Combiner Wars Long Haul was able to incorporate the upper thighs of Devastator. And yes, you are absolutely right. If you notice the way that they made Combiner Wars Devastator, they actually made the thighs, like, the front part of the thigh was part of the Constructicon that made the lower leg, and then the back part of the thigh was part of Long Haul. So they broke this up so that, yes, Long Haul was bigger than the rest of him, but he was a massive earth mover dump truck that it worked for, and then you didn't have this entire assembly here that had to be just thoughtlessly tacked on to what would have been an otherwise pretty good toy. So thank you, Kyoji. Very good observation. I'm afraid I have to drink to that.
Well, I can because I have a drink now.
So, oh yeah, wait, here. We have to wait for the music. All right. So, before I try to attach the legs, I'm going to attach Razor Claw to this. So, I'm going to be honest. I don't exactly remember what I was supposed to do with Razor Claw. I'm going to figure it out as I go.
You're supposed to transform him into the body.
Oh, thank you. Well,
You're welcome.
that answers everything. Yes. We've known each other for a long time. A very, very long time. So with Razor Claw, you can put out the little fin things. This is going to be the chest of Predaking, and you're going to open up the whole body, and that exposes the Predaking head, and then you're going to close it just like this. There we go. And then the head panel goes down like this.
You done yet?
No, not even close. Not even close.
Mine's already like...
Well, you know what? Now it's your job to be very, very clever for everybody, since I've got to figure out what the heck to do with everything that's happening here. I believe that in this case, what we're doing is we're going to fold the legs of the... I don't know what we're going to do. Just ignore me. Ignore me. Be clever. Clever and entertaining.
Wait.
Oh, okay. So we've got this piece, which is, there we go. So that goes right there. And who's the guy with the big head? It's Big Head. Yes, this is Big Head, aka Razor Claw. And I believe that the arms are just going to go down. I'm looking for...
I know there's this big hollow space in the back.
Oh, wait, here. Okay, so there...
Don't show him instructions.
No, I'm getting this.
Because, like, you know, I mean, we've got time to fill, obviously, you know.
There is a little rectangular tab here, and then there are these rectangular holes here. So this is just going to tab in like that. And then I want to say that these go underneath like that. I could be wrong. We will find out in just a second when I attach it to the half of Dive Bomb. And then this little panel keeps wanting to collapse. So let's go ahead and... So you can see that there's a little bit of a tab here, and there's this notch here. So I'm going to hook that with that tab. And okay, so that confirms these little things go out to the sides like this. There we go. So just like that. And now I'm going to try and hook that. And yeah, that fits a lot better. And I'm going to put the wings back out of the way while I attach this. And there is... Oh, okay, so this is a slide-on piece. It slides on like that and then goes together like that. And now the wings can come up just like this. And then these legs can go back here. So these side panels here, these side...
Who's a kitty?
You're not helping. You're not helping.
Oh, I'm helping.
So
just not helping.
You're just not helping me.
I thought you said you wanted me to be clever, entertaining, and now I'm
clever.
Clever and entertaining. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, there we go.
That was dangerous.
So
there's a lot of expensive electronics in front of me.
So there are tabs on the back of these wings, and then these rectangular slots molded into the sides, and they're not very deep, but the slots do engage the
Unlike this
here.
live stream, which is very deep.
It is very deep. It's getting deeper all the time, let me tell you.
I suppose you're right, yeah.
So, there we go. And then we can take the lion legs, and we can just kind of fill up the void in the back here. So, we've got a Predaking body mostly here. And let's go ahead and just attach the legs. And they attach very uniquely for a combiner. They're going to slot in just like that. And I really do like that. I mean, it makes a really nice solid pelvis. And now let's go ahead and give him some arms. So no, that one's for yours. That one's for yours.
You wanted to give him some arms. And
if we were taking away the arms, we would say that it's a farewell to arms. Ha I said that thing that's a quote from somewhere.
It's a book, jackass.
Thank you. It's the slow Shia LaBeouf clap. Well, it's not a slow clap because that would be a sarcastic clap. He does something.
It sounds like it's an unfortunate clap since you said the Shia LaBeouf.
Hey, Shia LaBeouf is awesome.
Actually,
Finally see.
Actually, I'm just crapping on him because he was into Michael Bay.
Those weren't his fault.
They weren't.
He was actually the best part of those movies.
Don't let your dreams be dreams.
Except for the last one.
Well,
or the last one he was in. I mean the one where it is, I am Michael Bay and I'm going to use this character to cry at the people who
shit all over my movies. But once again, that is Michael Bay using Shia LaBeouf's character to voice his frustration that people think his movies are shit. Which, by the way, Michael Bay's movies are shit.
Well, actually, not all of his movies.
No, not all of his movies. You know what? I just saw that one Ghost something, Ghost Force or Ghost Squad, something like that. It had it had Ryan Reynolds, and it was great. It was so much fun. And it's like, hey, Michael Bay, why don't you do stuff like this again and stop shitting all over my childhood, you demented piece of crap? Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't warn people to get away from their screens. I apologize.
I don't.
But nonetheless, yeah, that movie was pretty cool, and while I was talking about that movie, I was also putting together
6 Underground. It has a magnet.
Oh, 6 Underground, and it had a magnet boat. And why are we talking about the magnet boat? Just because? Oh, because it was cool. Yeah, it was cool. So yeah, 6 Underground was awesome. It was a dumb, ridiculous action movie, but you had Ryan Reynolds being Ryan Reynolds and being really funny, and the action sequences were awesome.
Well, look at like Sean Hobbs, right? That's a ridiculous, dumb action movie. But you know what?
But it's a great movie. It makes no sense, and it only gets more ridiculous the longer it goes on. But I don't care because Dwayne Johnson and Jason Statham, which I just said Jason Statham after 3 drinks. I think that is beast worthy. And I made an arm.
I made a Predaking.
And so let's take out that and let's transform. What the hell is this thing? I mean, honestly, it's like a cat body.
It's giant kitty butt.
So you were hoping to get a fart noise.
I knew that would happen.
What was the name of the place where you got your toys? Mike's Locks. Oh, no, it was Mike's Hardware, Toys and Stereos, and Certified Locksmith. Justice of the Peace.
Justice of the Peace, attorney at law,
mortgage counselor.
Used cars.
Bankruptcy lawyer.
Yeah. So, like,
it was a place in DuBois, Pennsylvania.
What's funny is, like, I never went to Mike's until after I started hanging out with you. Because it was down in the, like, area of town that I just did. But you knew about it. It was
in the seedy side of town. The seedy side of DuBois, Pennsylvania.
Well, yeah, that was in the floodplain, and that's also, like, right where the Great Fire started. Back in...
The Great... Wait, I didn't know that DuBois had a great... Tell me about the Great Fire of DuBois.
So in 1884, there was a fire that started by the rail station. And it basically obliterated most of the town.
Huh.
Just burned it off the map. And so they'd have, that's why we had the firemen's parade to commemorate the wonderful job the firemen must have done, considering the entire town burned to the ground.
You know what? I guess what it is the firemen said, hey, by the way, if you don't want this to happen again, we want a parade every year.
You gotta look at, like, supposedly at the time, like, the sidewalks were made of wood. this is 1884 we're talking about here. So,
And by the way, 1884 in Du Bois happened in 1987. So
No, it happened in 1884,
I'm really proud of that. I thought that was clever.
So, it was down there. Now, that's where your school bus would take you to school every bloody day. You'd drive past it so you could see it. And so you're like, oh, we should go down there. So, this place is like, I'd say 1.5 miles from where I live in Du Bois at the time. Which, actually, I live closer now, but I moved like 3 blocks. Got married, moved 3 blocks.
Which was halfway across town, by the way.
I didn't even leave the hill.
I'm making fun of Du Bois being a small town.
Yeah, and he comes from Reynoldsville, which,
You know what? I can make fun of Reynoldsville.
Oh, well, everybody, Du Bois made fun of Reynolds.
Except that Reynoldsville is a charming place with charming people.
Reynoldsville's a whole. I mean, the only thing worse than Reynoldsville is Sykesville. Anyway, so,
So, here we go.
we would, when you'd come up to visit, we would walk down there. So, like, when you talked
it
about...
took so long to walk. It was, how many miles was it?
It was about a mile an hour. It was probably closer to 2 miles.
It was at least 2 miles.
It was, yeah.
And you know what? When you're a skinny little, I was skinny once. When you're a skinny little high schooler, that 2 miles.
I was skinnier once because, you're skinnier than I am, and we were both the same weight in size and build, so. But, yeah, and, so you talk about, like, when you bought Fort Max there, right?
Oh, it was such a big box.
We carried it the whole bloody way back. So it's 2 of us carrying this, what is a giant cardboard crate.
Yes.
And we did it twice because
the first one was ruined in the fire, and the one transformer two transformers that I replaced from the fire, Power Master Optimus Prime and Fortress Maximus. The rest,
one of those was worth replacing, and that was Fortress Maximus.
I know.
Power Master Optimus Prime. I mean, hey, look, I had him.
Yes,
but he was still rather shit.
He wasn't really a good version of Optimus Prime, but at the time I loved him. I loved.
Hey, he was the only one. I never had the original Optimus Prime, so he was the only Optimus Prime I had.
All right. So let's go ahead.
My gun transforms. Yours, you have to put yours together. Mine's one piece.
You're right. Mine,
and that's just awesome.
That is awesome. So let's go ahead. This. Okay, I'm gonna have to hold it back to. This is Power of the Primes Predaking, and that is pretty cool. This is Transformers Generation 1 Predaking, and that is pretty cool. Let's go ahead and put this guy on the camera. Got a little thing that's there. It's got a little bit of back hollowness that I don't like, and I think there's an upgrade kit to try and fix that.
The upgrade kit that has the wings also has a thing that, although admittedly it's supposedly the...
So, oh wow, that's ridiculously long.
I don't know. I expected to. I didn't expect to get to the combiners by this point.
Let's just take a look. This is Gen 1 Predaking, and I'm gonna have to move Power of the Prime so that you can really see the details of Gen 1 Predaking. So here, if you will hold Predaking. So Gen 1 Predaking is easily the best of all of the Gen 1 combiners. He's got arms that move. He's you've seen that the characters are about the same size. I always like to transform a little bit like this to give him a little bit of an elbow joint.
Yeah, but then the wrist thing doesn't work very well, so I never liked that.
So, but, either way, the arms look, I think that they look more proportional sideways, because it gives them very, very wide forearms, but they're Popeye arms, and I've heard that you like that. So, he is, he's not posable, Gen 1 combiners tended not to be posable at all.
Well, you can kind of raise his knees with the transformation mechanism of Razor Claw's legs. It's kind of hanky, and the oversized crotch plate does get in the way. And I feel that crotch plate is kind of a downside, because I don't think it needs to be there as much, you know?
Is it upside down?
It might be. I forgot that it turns.
Yeah, but not that it makes a big difference. He still looks pretty much like this. He is hulking. Whereas the other Scramble City combiners were kind of diminutive and kind of disappointing when you put them together, and you were happy to have them, and at the time it's like, oh, I got Bruticus, I got Menasor, I got Defensor, and yay! But they really they weren't great. But you put him together, and all of his appendages are big and husky. And he goes together, and he's got this unified... Oh, let's compare him to Predacon. Is that his...
Predacon.
Yeah, I think...
Well, you can call him God Neptune, because that's one of the Japanese used him. But,
so, obviously, this is Gen 1 Predacon, and yeah, he's shorter. He's still pretty cool looking, but honestly, Predaking would flatten him. And this toy is just, he is a showpiece. I would like to replace the stickers. The stickers on the wings in particular.
And the wing joints have gotten a little loose, so they
right.
don't, but it's 34, you say?
34-year-old
toy.
And I can probably tighten that up so that it isn't quite so floppy. Nonetheless, there was no kid in 1986 or 1987 that completed Predaking and was disappointed. And that's the same thing that I was talking about with the Dinobots. Let me go ahead and try and focus this in a little bit more. I'm going to... forgive me while I do some computer-type stuff.
No. There is no forgiveness for you in my heart.
Oh, yes, there is. You love me. So, there we go. That is Predaking, and he really does look awesome. Yeah, the proportions are a little bit awkward, and the posability is really not there, but I'll tell you what. He fulfills the promise that all of the combiners made and so few delivered on. So, yeah, thank you for the comparison, and we're going to get to him at some point, too. We will. Oh, yes. So, let's, we're just going to have to go to the other camera because Power of the Primes Predaking is not going to fit on that camera. This is him, and this was the goal. This was the priority when they designed this toy. They started with him, and they wanted to make a Predaking that really looked great. You know, I feel like this would actually work better if it were turned like that. And then, yeah, he gets a little bit more of an elbow. So, we've got articulation. We've got big, solid joints. We've got human-like proportions. We've got big, grippy hands. He is just fantastic in all of his proportions, in all of his details. This is where this toy shines. And I will say that you put him together, he is so playworthy.
The one thing that one shines at more than this one, he's got reflective stickers. He doesn't.
That's true, but Oh yeah, so this one actually did come with reflective stickers.
That's right. That's right. I forgot. He does come with stickers that you can put on him.
And
I forgot about that.
I did not put them on because I don't like stickers. So yeah.
I forgot.
I had forgotten about that, to be honest.
I forgot about it too. That there are stickers to put on each robot individually, and then after you combine him, there are stickers that go on just Predaking.
Right. So
because they're hidden in the transform.
So what they've got here is a combiner that really that's truly playable in his combined form, which so many combiners are very fragile in their combined forms. We look at that other Predaking that I got, which we'll talk about in another live stream, and he is awesome, but he's not the kind of character that you can really play with and put him into cool poses and have him fight with Devastator, which let's go ahead and pull up Devastator here. So, yeah, we've got Devastator, who also looks great and has great proportions and has posable joints. But I would say that he is even more solid and more playable in his combined form than Devastator. Here, would you hold...
Oh, wait, hold on. You know what we need to do here? We need to do kissing.
Oh, Devastator, Devastator, wherefore art thou, my Devastator?
Oh, and Kyoji. That's Kyoji, right?
Yes, Kyoji.
He mentioned that, yeah, the Power of the Primes went total retro with stickers.
So...
Which is...
Yeah.
That's lame.
Power of the Primes had some shitty stickers. Starscream's terrible foil stickers that don't fit in, and they peel up on the edges. I hated the stickers in Power of the Primes. It was just complete
How do you really
garbage.
feel about those stickers?
They were crap. So, there we go. Why don't we put Devastator back, and I'll give you Gen 1 Predaking. So, that is it. I will say that the combined form of Power of the Primes Predaking really is just an amazing accomplishment. He looks great. He's playable. He's posable. He's got a lot of detail, and his proportions are good. The robot mode aesthetically and in terms of playworthiness are superior to the Gen 1 counterpart. That being said, as taking everything into account, taking into account the robot modes and the beast modes.
I can't. I'm empty again. Just so you know, I've now had more than you have.
You have not.
Have so.
I've had like twice as much as you.
No, you have not. I've caught up.
So if you look at everything as a whole, in terms of the robot modes, the creature modes, and the combined modes all put together, Power of the Primes Predaking is not better than Gen 1 Predaking. And if I had to choose just one to own, I'm still choosing this one. And maybe part of that's nostalgia.
How much was this one?
I
mean, rough price point. We're talking...
I want to say that this was about, probably about 80.
80, I mean, rough.
80, 90, something like that.
Well, I guess, think about it. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60,
10.
70. Yeah, actually, there were about... this cost... Actually, think about it if he was about 80,
maybe 90. Oh, wait, was this $159.99?
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Wow. Then
Wow.
I think even adjusting for inflation, that one's more.
Actually, I don't know. $1986.
I don't think it's a doubling. Inflation is not doubling.
You're looking at
He's 80.
$15 per figure, right?
Right.
Okay. 15 times 5.
30, 60, 75.
So 75. So 75 times... So for $1986, can you run that through Google Calculator? So we're going to find out what the price difference is between a 1986 $75 and a 2017 $160. And $129.99. So this was $130. This was $30 more. But you also have a much bigger.
It is bigger. It is beefier. I mean,
and a lot more parts.
But
a lot more pieces.
I mean, the value is. But I mean,
so. But that being said, I still and I will admit, of course, this is Retrobot, and it's all about retro. It's all about nostalgia. So there is nostalgia with the Gen 1 that I don't have with Power of the Primes. So I would still, if I had to choose between the two of them, I would still rather have the Gen 1 version. That being said, I'm glad to have both. I am glad to have both. So the next time that we see Power of the Primes Predaking, we will be comparing him to the third-party Predaking, and that's going to be very interesting.
Something that Kyoji mentioned is that he actually got the Platinum Edition for $50. Now, was that in 2015? Was that retail? Because I find that surprising that $50 retail. I mean, it is a.
I don't know. I don't know. But
you know, it's just I find that. But again, they're using the old molds. But like nowadays, they reissued the Walmart one. The reissue of the Walmart one here, I think was over $100.
Oh yeah.
To buy.
Well, they are raping people for the reissues these days. So
I mean, because you
third party is Feral Rex. So yeah, keep your eyes open. The one that we have is called Feral Rex, and we're going to be doing that in the future here.
A Big Bad Toy Store, huh?
And you know, who knows? Maybe we'll have you back for that one.
Maybe.
Maybe. So.
Okay, so
also,
he says that it was on sale at Big Bad and was massively reduced. So.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
well,
if he
that
but hey, getting on. I mean, hey, I'm all for getting them on clearance. It's just when I was buying this was literally like buying it right out the door.
So
before any discounts.
So next weekend we are. It's pretty much we're celebrating my birthday next weekend, and so we're gonna talk about the things that I want to talk about because it's my birthday, darn it, and I'm gonna get to have cake, and so that's gonna be pretty awesome. If you haven't already, please subscribe and click the notification bell. That way, you know when we're doing stuff. And also, we wanna. Hey, it's my cake. It's my party, and I can cake face if I want to.
Cake break.
Cake break. So and if you know people that are into retro stuff and toys, please tell them about this because we're trying to build a channel and we need your help. And so, tell me which is your favorite? Which do you prefer? Power of the Primes Predaking, Gen 1 Predaking, or are you into one of the third-party ones? Let me know in the comments. And other than that, thank you, Kyoji. Thank you, Joy. Thank you, Nature View. Thank you, Canadian Ranger. I know you had to go to bed.
The cake definitely is a lie.
The cake is a little bit of a lie. I'm going to regret that cake with all the booze I've drank tonight. Thank you, Josh. Thank you, Nature View. Thank you, Mason Fur. Thank you, Setayami. Did I say that right?
Setoyami. It's right there.
Setoyami. Thank you so much. Thank you, Colleen. Thank you, everyone, for showing up these live streams just wouldn't be the same without all of you. So thank you so much for joining me each and every week. Thank you, Dawn, for coming up and joining me here, and hopefully we can have you back, and that would be fun. And also, thank you, Mike and Brandon and Spicer. Thank you so much. And I already got Josh, didn't I? Oh, and Nathan Fillion. Thank you, Nathan Fillion, for showing up. There's a lot of thank yous here. You know what? A toast to you all, because I am feeling beastie. I don't even know what that means, but I'm saying it. You stuck with us for over 3 hours. You guys are all awesome. Thank you. We will see you next week. Have a wonderful night. Have a wonderful weekend.